na sila o gingalan na kanang unique number malungsod o makita ka na sa itong makatauhan kay ang instruction i-post ka ng ilang mga numero diya. So pag text nila adunay mo reply ni ana o ang reply ana tagaan ka na sila o gingalan na kanang unique number o kanang unique number man na ipasa nila appeal sa enrollment form nga ilang pag-apil-apan kay automatic na i-send sa ila ni ana o dali na dayon ma-plastar ang enrollment sa bata. Ang ikaduhang pamagi sa rin, pwede online.
Online?
O kung aduna sila kanang linya sa internet, connection. Kung aduna, nagyan po secure dito, o ang mga link niya na naka-post na po na sa mga conspicuous place sa mga lugar na aduna internet connection. O kang ikatulo si Renz, para sa atong makatauhan o mga ginikanan o mga kabataan nga wala gintay internet connection, wala po yung mga cellphone. Kana tingala na mo na enrollment drop box.
Okay.
O ang mga drop box Renz, pagka na, ipaplastar na sa itong mga magtutulo sa mga nagkalain-laing lugar sa kabarangay. Usahay sa Purok Center na ilang butang, usahay ang uban sa barangay hall, o sa barangay hall na barangay office. Dito ang atong ginikanan, adunay di laki po dito nga enrollment form. Ang ubang enrollment form gibutang na nila do tapan sa drop box kay para pilapan sa ginikanan, ihulog lang sa drop box. Then kuhaan po na sa mga magtutudlo na nakasay diha kay para matali. Ang uban po nga gibuhat sa ubang barangay, naghangyo ato mga magtutudlo magpatabang sa mga opisyal sa barangay, mga kagawad.
Okay.
O gani aduna na kita nakuha ang picture o mga video clips po sa mga kagawad nga maoy tayo nag-upload sa enrollment form sa atong mga ginikanan sa nagkalinglaing baryo sa atong probinsya sa Lanao del Norte o resulta daghan doon bay-bay ang naka-enroll sa miagi nga simana si Renz. Ako ipaibalong kung isibuhan kung aduna po boy positive reaction ang mga pamaagi o as of Friday last week mituta nagtag-sobra sa size min ng mga bata ang mi-enroll si Renz. Kana nagpabatuod nga epektibo day ang pamaagi sa tulog ka pamaagi.
Isa kasugod
June 1.
June 1.
Oo, June 1. O padayon kita karong simana gyapon si Renz. O ako positibo ko karong simana murag bay-bay gud siguro ang madugang na po sa enrollment. Okay, mao ta unang tubag sa unang pangutana kabahin sa pamaagi sa enrollment. Ang pinaka-bukat ko na pangutana si Renz sa mga ginikanan nga atong pinabi-usahay unsaon karon pagtudlo.
Kana.
Pwede na
Pwede na problema. Sa enrollment, pwede na i-text, pwede na po dawaton personal, pero karon dapat sistemas pagtudlo.
Kani pagtudlo si Renz. Pag yun na nga, nagkangyo po rin ko nga kayo din. Salamat yung ko nga imo mong tagal panahon. Kaya mo pa na ang pinaka-unang challenge yung karon sa Department of Education.
Yun.
Ang atong regional director si Renz, si Director Arturo Bayupat, nag-instruction sa among mga superintendent nga ipahibalo sa atong makatuhan sa pamagi nga kaya na to sama sa radio station o sa TV o sa pang media nga ipahibalo o ipasabot sa atong makatuhan kanang gingalan karon sa Department of Education o Learning Continuity Plan LCP. Kanang Learning Continuity Plan si Renz imukha ka na sa DepEd i-formulate para doon nga mapadayon ang atong pagtulos sa mga bata. Sa LCP na to itagaan kami katungod nga mag-design o learning continuity plan kahuaom sa atong probinsya. Ang atong probinsya sa Renz, istudyuhan ko na aduna kita unong ka mga siguro ka ihap na registration sa probinsya. Aduna kita isa ka TV station. O so far, maura na atong nanibalan pa pagkataron na sa learning continuity plan, giingon dito na pwede ang lecture mo paagi sa radio, kanina na itong radio-based instruction. Ikadua, pwede sa TV, sa television. O ang ikatulo, posible mag-go si Renz na pa'y lugar siguro din sa Lanao del Norte. Hindi ko lang ma-sulti ni mo kung saan ko na exactly nga mga lugar kay ipagay ko haniti ko dire. Kaya bakit na assign din sa Lanao. Nasiguro iba'y kurente. So kung white kurente si Renz, zero yun ang internet na zero po ang TV. Siguro ang radio, kanang transistor radio, di battery, murag na siguro nagpuruhan nga na sila. Okay? Sunod po siguro ang radio signal, di po po sure o mangabot ito po. So kana, sa kong tanaw, di po siguro kayo nagdaghan ng lugar. Okay? So kung kana nga malugar sa rin na tayo special pamaagi diha, kung saan na to na, kay dito na nato mabutang sa ato ang modular instruction.
Okay.
Okay? So una na kong isa-isa sa rin sa pamaagi sa pag-leksyon, pinagi sa TV, pinagi sa radio, kung katong walay internet, walay radyo, wala tanan, dito kita mulusot sa modular.
Okay.
Ang sunod nga challenge rin para masabtan sa atong mga katawhan nga naminaw ron, kung internet, kung hinay ang signal, na problema po na. Kaya maura pa na idaghan gani sa ibang post ko sa Facebook lagi ka. Mag-leksyon ang teacher, maputol.
Oh.
Ang bata po, maputol. Pagkabahin niya na si friends, medyo maingon ta nga kung technology, naagad ko ta sa signal. Ako po nang ilang tao, kung unsay atong baton nga, ubay mo, dili kayo mapitahan atong mga kabataan. Pag sa radio, murag wa po siguro kayo posibilidad maputol kay ang signal sa radio, kung may signal, tuloy man na. Diha ang siguro tama ka problema kung mo-burn out po.
Kana.
Oh, no? Mo-burn out, kaya di na to control po na kabahin niya na. Burn out, putol ang pagkitsyon. Nakahukom ko sila sa pagkonsulta sa akong mga kauban ng mga kumasakop na mga supervisors. Kung saan na ito na mamilina si Impa. Nakahukom ko nga ang pinaka nangayan din sa ato ang lalawigan. Mao ang blended learning, no? Sa blended learning, maminaw ang bata sa radyo. Kunya naasi buhaton kay kung mag-listen sa radyo, ang diferensya na nasa face-to-face katong traditional nga face-to-face nga kasi teacher magtindog sa eskwelahan, maminaw ang mga bata sa tubangan, na blackboard. Ang pag-leksyon niya, makita sa bata, yung sa pag-sulat sa blackboard. Or na visual aids, gitawag naman na visual aids ka ng mga picture o sa pag teaching devices na gamiton sa teacher para makasabot ang bata. Wala na pag-abot sa distance learning. Okay? So, kung saan may ihulit na ito blackboard ani, ang among gabaton na reference mo ng tanan na yung may printed modules. Kaya ron, pag mag-leksyon din sa radio, iwan na rin ang teacher nga, open sa page 1, kasunod ang bata dito. So, bisag may blackboard makita sa bata, naminaw lang siya sa radyo, sa teacher nga mag-leksyon, masundan po gyapon niya. Kung unsay makita dito sa page, kay customize ang atong module diya, reference nga, i-design doon na nga masundan doon sa bata. Okay, sa pinakasimple nga language, nga mo level ko niya, kung grade 1, simple yun, grade 2, grade 3, anak, paingon sa kuan. Ang sunod po, kung bahin sa radyo o sa TV, ang sunod po na isa ka-challenge yun, isa na mo kapuan, pag-engage. Ang atong halangdong gobernador, Gobernador Milda Quebran sa Dimapuro, sa una na mong panay-istorya na itong meeting sa liga ng mga barangay dito sa MCC. Naghangyon ako ni Gobernador nga mo na itong problema karon sa Lipidgo o ultima ura may tubag si Gobernador. Sige, SDS, ako nang ipakuan gamit sa imo ang atong TV o ang radio station kung kuno sa province. O napasalamat ko ato sa atong Gobernador Zelensky, at least nakulang-kulangan akong problema. Ang sunod po sila kay daghan man taglong so dire mo nang mo try to engage sa tanang mga radio stations nato dire o para makaprepare pag usaon nato ni kung ayaw pa po sa ato kay ano kinalang po ni mga funding siguro po so far mo mga unsang bulan siguro mga sila po siguro kay gikakaron mga manuman ang mga modules mo na po sunod na po lagang ang pa-engage sa itong mga radio station. Hopefully hapit na mahuman ang preparasyon to sa mga module sa atong mga magtutulog karon. O ready na ang pagkitsyon. Kung unsa man gali ang final directive sa atong central office ani karon, TV, radio, kung sa unsa pamagi, ready na ta. Ang abot lang ani ron ang pagsabot jud sa mga ginikanan kay daghan pod nahingawa, maingon. Tabi sir, nagtrabaho mo po. Akong bana nagtrabaho. Kung ba na ako na nabilin, kung saan ba na ron ang mga bata mabilin sa balay. Anong bahin na sila, maingon yung ko nga, ang ikinalan na mo ang suportas ginikanan po kay di man lagi pwede pakantunan ang mga bata sa sirat kay ato magsundo ng guidelines sa IETF, social distancing.
Yes.
Kaya, mo nang diyan kita sa distancification, sa panimala rin ng bata, o ang sunod na mong pagkabuhaton, after ma-engage ni sa radio, maghimo po may orientation program sa mga ginikanan para among ipasabot ang ilang role. Kung saan nila paggabay ang bata gabahin sa distance learning.
So sa nga bahin sir, murag ma-appeal yun, na-involve yun ang parents ano eh.
Mo ingon jud ko si Renz nga ani panahon na mga pumig assistant nila kay dili man mahimo ko pud at tutuon sa maestra ng tanan balay port na physically
Lisod na
yan
yun,
possibility na lang sa teacher.
Oo.
No, mao nang maghangyo ko nga napo sila party ana o kabahin sila involvement ana atong ingon nimo o mag-orientation may para makasabot ko sila asa sila dapat musulod.
Yes sir, kay kung sa face-to-face ka lang nga gigamit to kanina to, napong gini mamina, how much work ha kung kini radyo lang mamina nila na yun, tanaw sa internet na.
Sakto yung kasi Renz, dito yun na isa po na sa ingon na po nga ba challenge ba? Kay kung pasagdan na po si Bakwa sa online, kung wala yung mga bantay ligay, masig kung sa po ilay, pag-ukabon nga sa bata na, isa po na sa mga gitanaw. Muna nga, mag-orientation ba sa magigikanan para mabalo po sila asa ilang responsibilidad. Muna sa magigikanan nga minaw ron, si Ren, may ingon ko, waman na ito yung Department of Education nga medyo mag-resulta.
Yes.
Direktiba man po ni sa itong pangagamahanan na maghangyo din po kung na sila suporta na tabang po nga sa mga tanaw kung bubantay malang sa mga bata sa Panimalay para tuloy-tuloy ilang pagpaminaw sa leksyon.
Medyo kinakita na ko sa karon kanang maminaw sa radyo murag laay guminaw. Ang mga bata na. So mas kita pa to magtanaw sa internet kay murag nakita pa nila ang ilang teacher nila.
Mao na nga nandiyo na adjustment period si Renz. Ang goal nandiyo na ako si Renz nga manibago ba kung sa Tagalog ba? No? Pilipino manibago, mabaguhan. Pero ultima oras akong paminaw, mag-adjust na po siguro ang bata. Kaya sa ako nagkikaingon, well, maminaw siya sa radyo, nagyon siya makita ang module. Kaya iya itong sundon. Okay? Kunya, la suportas kinikanan, ya mao tanaw po niya, iyang pagkasundon. Siguro, mga pila ka adlaw, maanad na siguro si Ren, maanad na. O sa akong paminaw, nagyon tayo, nagyon ba ito na ng bata? Ano nga pamagi?
Pero pila ka oras ang ito ang gihimo ana sa igahin para ana.
Okay.
Kada adlaw.
Maani na yung magpanguntanan si Ren. Pagkakaroon si Ren, duhulatan yun ang final directive sa opisina. Kay kung sundon na ito ang kanungingan na ito tradisyonal pamaagi sa pag-eskwila, tibok adlaw din ang bata sa eskwelahan. O kuman sa lag ceremony, pagka alas 5 sa garan. Magsugod ang bata pag paminaw sa leksyon sa maestra. O hantod mo, undang na o happy pa niyo ito, balik na po pagkalauna, una media, o mahuman na po na pag tapos, ang among dahulatan ani ron, ang final directive sa kanagingan ng class hours kay basin na ay prescribe po ning oras karon kay nabag-on man.
Yes.
Although pagkakaroon dili ko katagna og kung sa baka pila ka oras ang instructional time, pero ang amon ang yung gibuhat ron si Ren, ang mga leksyon karon gi-ready na namo. Kung parehas gyapon sa oras sa una, naa gyapon. Pero kung pag-uhon ang oras karon, may kan aligyan niya itong bagong modalities ang tawag na tanan sa English. Bagong modalities, basin o naik kausapan sa oras. Amula naghulutan ang final instruction niya na o motro na lang kusultin niyo para matulan pa rin yung pangutanan.
No problem, sir. Kay, nakita na ito din kung saan po dito na oras ito, whole day ang bata luminaw. Pero lain ang oras, tulog ang bata.
Murang sakto po kasi ikaduha po ako po ba kay kung mo po lagi isa po na sa akong ngawa din nga ibata siya rin kung ibong adlaw po ka more gyud ba paminaw ang leksyon po sa ka registration ba ako pila ka po ang gyud time o isa po na mo gilantaw si Renz although pagkakaroon mo admitan di ko nimo na gyud may alternatibo kung may tabo na okay na may alternatibo o di ko lang sa iasin sa pagkakaroon kay dili pa kayo po na masabot sa ginikanan kung galing may tabo na. Pero ako lang yung ipasalig sa mga ginikanan nga naminaw ron. Na ang Department of Education nangandam din pa. So kan pa itong Abril o magsugod mo tag klase sa August 24, 2020, igo-igo pag yun ang panahon. Kay gani si Ren sa akong program nito, mga first week sa July, magsugod na may shooting para sa TV, magsugod na po may recording para sa radio, na kanang ipabati ng lechon, o magsugod na po may paplastar sa modules kay April. Kaya para mga usa ka bulan pa pin before sa August 24, andam na jud na. Andam na na. Okay? Nya naay nangutan na kung saan lagi itong lugar nga walay kuryente, o na may plano for residents nga tuloy-tuloy gihapon ang lechon sa may gihapon sa may tabok kumaminaw sa radyo o sa TV.
Okay. So, ini, murag taas-taas yung pag-adjust sa mga kabataan na ito sa gamikan kay pag-unay, for example, karon online. Okay, na-internet ko rin, naghamak kong signal.
Paugin na sir.
Pag roll call karon, ma'am, present ko ba? Sa mga pagkakuan ba? Lag man akong internet. So, daghan dyan, no?
Isa po natin on si Renz, na nakita na mo, na sa among papaagyan ni karon, isa sa among diskuta po sa mga principal. Para pag-attend. So, kanang modules, na printed modules, i-distribute na sa mga teacher, kayo sa mga bata. Kung musigig na po na itong social distancing mission karon, napasabot nga, wala kay ginikanan mo ato sa eskwelahan. Ang among pamagyan na mag-designate lang ang teacher o asa ang point ang kanila engagement sa parent, asa sila magtagbo para ihatag ang printed modules. Kaya kung doon lang ang balay, pwede naman nag-ihatod sa mga magtutudo silang balay, pero kung medyo lagyo, luon na po na itong teacher. Okay? So, baon na, isa sa atong i-orient sa parent, nga ang bata, upay mo everyday, nag-attend yung sa lechon. Kaya sila naman nakikita silang anak. Okay? Then, katong kabayan sa attendance nga, pag roll call, walang internet. Kana, takong tanaw, isgutan na mo sa orientation sa parent, kung saan. Kay, isa sa pamagi i-offer sa ako na sa akong mga principal, mutawag yung si teacher sa parent. Tansya mo, si Renz, mag-leksyon na may karungan, inukas kang karon. Nasa may mga anak si Renz, okay ba yung bata niya? So, pahingan mo nga okay, so, present na to, may bata.
May tabo ano sir, murag kibali apel ka na ginikalag eskwelahan.
Ba, isa yun na sa may tabo si Renz, pero maulagi na kung ang ginikanan doon ay trabaho, sa butang yun na sa orientation, kung sa'yo pamagi niya, lalang ko'y makabantay sa bata kay. Sa akong punta na si Renz, kana kapakutan na, ipasa ko na sa gilkanan ako. Na ako na pong gitubag nga bisan pag dito sila ang bata na sa inyong balay, bigas yung bugya po nyo na secure ang bata. Kung inyo nabiyaan nga, sila na po ruway magbantay na tayo may tabuan na.
Okay.
So, sa akong paminaw, ngita siguro po siya pamahagi nga, ako'y magbantay ng mga anak siguro kung wala siya diya. O, ako na ng presumption, pero sa akong paminaw, may tabo po siguro na.
Possible.
So,
saan yung situation siya, murag na masabi niyo, magaan ang trabaho sa mga teachers o madugagan ang trabaho sa mga teachers?
ang dumadyo na akong tubag ka na si Renz. Mugaan, nako'y dugang. Pasensya, philosophical ko, no? Mugaan si Renz kay dili naman siya magsigig sulat para sa leksyon, kay ay naman nadaan ron. Di para sa una nga, kada adlaw, kada gabi, sulat si teacher. Yeah. Prepare mo visual aids, drawing pa sa teacher na, kung pa. Pero di na niya tumibangon, kaya ready na module. Ang madugang, kanang pagsigig distribute niya sa modules o pagkulita sa modules. Kaya kung ang modules every week, paano na, buhato na kuan, pagkulita sa module, every week na, or depende ano sa mahuman ang usa ka module, kulitaw na sa teacher, kaya i-checkan man po niya tong activity. Nang anang kabayan pag-check sa activity na po sa meeting na mo at liga ng mga barangay sa Tibuklano del Norte. Adunay nangutanan nga barangay captain. Sir, kung saan niyo pagsiguro nga kanang tubag sa bata sa activity iya na sir, kasi ang ginikanan ng tubag. So, una po sir nga.
Posible, ikaw
posible.
na ba ni ma?
Di akong gitubag ang kapitan ng utanan nga. Bright yung ka, brilliant yung ka. Kaya tinuod po niya pangutanan sakto dito. So, ako na lang gitubag. Part sa itong orientation sa ginikanan karon. Bao nga, mutapang po sila protect sa instructional process.
Sabi ko na tao sa'yo kung ano
Instructional
ba
process, Sirens.
ipalit na ikuna.
Kanang pagtuon sa bata, na first time ma-engage niya ang leksyon, ayan, utok na mo trabaho, i-process niya ang learning. O hatod na masabot ang leksyon, i-practice na sa bata, paigon sa mastery. Pag mamaster na niya, iyan ang yung knowledge niya, iyan na. Na kung iingnan niya sa among orientation sa parent, mahangyo sa instructional process sa bata. Kaya kung di ka mo protection na wala ka buwan, instead nga mo process na iyang utok, mo compute sa answer, di na noon mo lihong ang utok kay imong spoon feed, imong ipungit na, hindi mong bata na.
Ulit yan. Buhay na balaan.
Buhay na balaan. So, akong tingnan, mature naman ta, sabot siguro pong ginikanan na, pero diha na yun na mo, hagyo ng ginikanan. Introduction ni ang instructional process.
Okay. Okay, sir. So, for more info, ano ba kayo doon, sir?
Oh, Sir Renz, karon pa yun ni, mahibalo na ako sa tanan ko sa iyo, Sir Renz. As 8:32 and 40 seconds, no? Correct kayo ni Sir Renz, 8:32, 32 minutes and 40 seconds this morning, June 8, 2020, aduna na 21,369 ang mi-enroll sa atong system. Namo tayo system, electronic system sa enrollment process. Yeah. At any given time, may bala na ito, kailan na nag-enroll sa tibok probinsya sa Lanao del Norte. Sa ingon anak, kapaspas kita karon. So, nabutay sa enrollment.
Okay, so public and ano siya?
Kani nga data, public ni tanan, public ni Sir Renz.
Okay.
Dahil tayo, magutana na po sa private kung kuan karon. Pero wala private pa nila pagutan. Wala pa ipasa nila.
Okay.
Sige. Public pa ni Sir Renz, pero dahil po tayo record sa private na lang, pero as of now, pasiguran na forward part.
Okay, okay. Okay, sir. So, additional, sir? Ano po kayo gusto ipaabot sa mga tuwan?
Okay, uturon ko sa atong mga ginikanan. Una-una Sir Renz, magpasalamat yung ko sa DSBL 107.7 Light FM. Sa imuha si Renz sa Sumalinog. Salamat kay Sir. O sa atong station manager, si Ma'am Jean Yamas, sa inyong paghatag o panahon na kagayunan nga hinabi sa atong mga katawan sa lalawigan sa Lanao del Norte o putong sa maabot sa atong Sibya. Mapahibalo nato sa atong mga katawhan ang mga kalihukan sa Department of Education karon kabayan sa pag-eskwela sa atong anak. Akong ipa-utron ang akong gisulti sa atong mga ginikanan, na atong pamaagi sa pag-enroll, pwede sa text message. Ang number na inyong i-text na araw na naka-display sa atong mga eskwelahan o sa mga public places sa atong barangay o lungsod. O sunod, pwede sa online. Andun tayo link gihapon nga i-post ang atong mga school heads diya, atong mga principals, si teachers, sa kanilang barangay sa atong lalawigan para dito mo kontak para maka-enroll sa mga bata o ang ikatulo katong mga walay internet, walay cellphone, pwede sa Dropbox nga ibahagya po na sa atong mga nakaniyang barangay sa atong Lanao del Norte. Ang sunod, ang atong learning continuity plan sa Department of Education, particularmente din sa atong probinsya sa Lanao del Norte sa Red. Ano na kita ginong karon o innovative modalities sa personal learning delivery. Project na ito na ihaog sa atong probinsya sa Lanao del Norte ang modalities pamaagyon sa pagpadayon ng leksyon kaliwan na aduna itay social distancing. O ako nang giingon sa unahan, sa radio, pwede sa TV, aduna kita modular instruction. O katong mga lugar na di pabuti sa kurente walay internet, walay cellphone, walay radio, aduna kita special pamaagi niya na sa rin. Kung sa may lugar aduna radio, aduna TV, mapun gapon ang mabati o mahuduman sa itong kabataan dito lugar o equipment niya makapadayon silang paminaw sa leksyon. Gamay naman kung siguro ang mga lugar o sa kong paminaw, makapangitaan na ito ng pamaagi sila. O katapusan, akong pasabot sa itong katawan sa Lanao del Norte. April pa lang, nanganggam na ang atong DepEd Lanao del Norte. Kung saan na ito pagpadayon ang atong pagtulong, ang mga modalities, atong nangilatag, atong nagihanay, o nagpadayon kita sa atong pagpanganam karon. Ako naghangyo ang atong magirikanan. Ipadayon na po ang inyong pagsandig sa Department of Education, karon din sa atong probinsya sa Lanao del Norte. Ang tanang magtutudlo, tandaan nga principals, tandaan officials sa Department of Education na nikamot na mapadayon na ito atong serbisyo pang edukasyon din sa atong lalawigan sa Lanao del Norte. magpasalamat ko sa atong provincial officials sa atong dakbayan sa Lanao del Norte, sa pagpamulo sa atong halangdong gobernador Imelda Quebranza di Mapuro, sa iyang unang nag-pledge ni Governor di Mapuro na makagamit kita sa atong provincial TV station o sa atong radio station o sa umaabot kung mga adlaw engage na ko ang mga radio station din sa atong probinsya sa Lanao del Norte. Apil gini atong Nalagan DXBL 107.7 Light FM Sirens. Mo-engage ko sa atong manager direct kay mo po nato ni kaymanan nga mapadayon po gyapon ang edukasyon sa atong mga kabataan. O katong pila man ka oras ang instructional time gahulat pa mi sa official instruction sa central office o ako po nga pagtibaya o pagtawag sa atong congressman sa atong unang distrito si Congressman Abdullah Di Makuta Di Mapuro o atong congressman sa second district si Congressman Khalid Quebranza Di Mapuro. Ako salamat po ani nila sa atong gobernador o mga mayores sa nakalain-laing lungsod sa atong lalawigan sa Lanao del Norte. Kay kini sila tanan mi tambayayon gyud sa atong pagpangandam sa ato ang Department of Education. O iapas pa yung informasyon ka na akong karubutan.
Hello!
Malo atong mga katawan. As of 8 a.m. gapon, aduna na 131 kabuok, 131 na kabuok ang enroll po sa alternative learning system. Padayon ang atong alternative learning system si Renz. Nga sa atong mga katawan, nga na kay balungon sa alternative learning system o sa kaning sistema sa edukasyon. Naghatag higayunan sa mga estudyante nga walay panahon musulod sa formal education. Kato itaw, naminyo ko sa'yo, nagtrabaho na karon, wala na'y panahon yung eskwela. Aduna na sila special time para sa ila, para makapadayon sila edukasyon. Proven na ka na pamagi sa rin sa Dijugan, kung ubay na sila nakagraduate niya na. O gani ang atong pinalanggan Senador Manny Pacquiao, produkto ka na sa alternative learning system. So, Senador gali, so takot yung sa alternative learning system. Daghang salamat
sir,
sa rin.
sir, dalam ko yung mga text pwede ba mo lingkod ka kanahi
Okay,
may mga text na concern ko nila ba, wala itong apel na isbutan.
Sige, sir.
Bato pa niya, sir, gunin pareha sa akong anak sa open high siya ng eskwela. Kung saan pagpa-enroll nila, wala pa man na-enroll akong anak sa open high, asa ko mo adto ani sir.
Sige. Salamat kayo sa pangutana, sa ginikanan nga nangutana ni Ana. May butag kanimo. Ang imong pagpa-enroll sa open high, kung asa man na siya nga eskwelahan karon sa graduate magunan sa secondary.
Secondary.
Ato lang gihapon tanawan ang contact number diha sa kung unsa na level imong anak sa open high karon. Tanawa ang contact number sa enrollment focal person nga na-assign diha sa eskwelahan niya imong gusto enrollan sa imong anak. Kato may text niya ingon lang open high ang imong bata. I-fill up lang gyapon yung enrollment form o i-process na sa atong mga teacher o mga teacher niya.
Okay. Sir, nato pa dali. Good morning sir. Naabay enrollment sa nursery? Sa among anak nga nag-daycare karon.
Okay. Ako lang ibutang sa eksaktong perspektibo ang pangutana nga nabay enrollment sa nursery. Ang Department of Education wala kita gagamit sa term nga nursery.
Nursery.
Kindergarten lang ato. Mauna nga atong curriculum K to 12. Kay kindergarten paingon sa grade 12. Okay? So siguro ako na lang i-assume ka na nangutana sa nursery. I-assume ko na lang nga kindergarten na imong anak. Ang kindergarten i-enroll ra gyapon diha sa atong mga eskwelahan publiko. Aduna gyapon yung contact number niya sa enrollment focal person sa kindergarten. Kung asa ka man nga barangay ulong sa nagapuyok karon, tanawa ang i-post diha nga mga number sa inyong barangay kay naa diha ang contact person sa kindergarten. Pero kung ang imong anak nursery pa na dahil lagi ang term namo sa DepEd, kindergarten lagi tawag, may magamit yung term nursery.
Okay. Good. Lay na sir. Good morning. Unsa pa ila pa maagi sa time slot sa radio if hindi to grade 12. Usaw nila pagbahin sa oras.
Okay, salamat. Mao ka na ang pangutana ni Sir Renz ganina nga ang instructional time. Sa ako lagi kaingon kaninyo mga igsoon agad gahulat pa mi karon sa final instruction kung unsa nga oras gyud ang kindergarten kung paagi ta sa radyo o sa TV. Ulatan sa namo ang instruction karon kay I know aduna gyud siguro kausapan sa instructional time.
Yes.
O ako po ipasabot sa itong mga katawan nga kung kindergarten atong sigutan si Renz na morning session ako na afternoon session. Okay? Sa una, face to face ka to. makatubangay ang teacher.
Oo.
Karon nag-expect ko nga naay change of time. Hulatan lang sa nako mga igsoon, mga ginikanan nga naminaw karon. Gamay pasensya lang kay hulatan gyud na po official instruction kay lisod og mo alala kung tubag karon.
Correct.
Pasensya papulihay adunay bagong instruction sayop ta.
Okay. Ask lang ko, sir. Kung radio na minaw ang mga bata, daw pero tulog ka estudyante, grade 6. O dahil unsay pag-explain sa lesson pero
Salamat kay sa pangutana ug nalimtan ko na si Renz isa niyo ta puto akong tutiyon ganina sa modalities.
okay.
May tabo na nga sa usa ka balay di ba kumutuo tulo anak ang sapo ng TV.
Correct.
Isa ra yun na. Hindi siya ay no, posible siguro nga ang radyo nila basig daghan sobra pa sa isa.
Ang sadya po naman cellphone. Pwede na.
Pwede mo cellphone kung sa radyo. Sakto ka si Renz. Okay? Ato na lang aron matubag ka ng gilikanan. Salamat sa imong pangutana ha kay bright jud ka nga gilikanan ng utana na pasalamat ko sa imo kay na lapat imo hunahuna sa pagsabot o lapat imo hunahuna nga nakita o makatabang pod nga maka-explain ta sa atong mga katawhan. Kanang una, kung galing tulo ang anak sa panimalay o sa ka-TV na siguro radyo, may lagduha ang radyo na big isa ra. So, unsa na lang ito ikatulo. Posible yun niya mahitabo. Ingon lang kung posible ha, kay ulatan namang final instruction karon sa instructional time. Kung nabay, maingon ba nga, kung sa orasa ang grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, maingon sa grade 6, ulatan na mo ng instruction. Pero in the event, wala instruction ni anak, kung itugot lang sa central office nga, kami rin magbuot sa oras, pahinon ko yun ang mga kahimanan sa Lanao del Norte Israel. Na istasyon nga mauni nga oras, kani nga oras, kanang nga grado, kanang nga grado. Balikan na ito example, TV, radio. Hindi ba yung ikatulong anak, asa naman to? So, dito na mo lusot sa atong gingalan na kung innovative modalities nga ang tanang leksyon ron, amok na nang i-read i-record na mo starting first week sa July kay human-human na itong preparasyon sa Renz. O kung mahitabo na sa usa ka pamilya nga wala na kahimanan gamiton ng ikatulong anak. Kay ang TV, ito na sa manghod. Ang radyo, ito sa ikadulang manghod. Ang kamulangan, calcium na yung kamulangan. So, dati pa maagi, dito tamulusot sa atong gingalag digital, then modular. Ang leksyon na ato na nang giandam, ato na gi-record sa Renz, o maghatag may kaimanan nga dito niya mapaminaw ang mga leksyon. Okay? Pagkakaroon magkaisunan, diha na sa kutub-kutubag, pero ay gablaka, ilantaw ko na nga sitwasyon na mahitabo yun. O salamat kay imong pamutanan na dumduman ako.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, good morning. How about Kabigabang College? Need kami mo sa school para sa among clearance o magkapangayo o grado aron magka-enroll sa dadayon. Kailangan kami mo school, ayaw lang basta ang numbers.
Okay. Silang ay kablaka ka, may basahin number po na. Salamat sa pangutana. Katong nangutana kay college man to, ako kung pasabton ha. Ako Schools Division Superintendent sa Lanao del Norte. Ang akong area of jurisdiction mao lang yun ang basic education. Siren. Mauna sa basic education, kinder to grade 12 project ko kutob. So kung mo college ka na, pasensya, wala ko authority mo tubag sa imong concern kay under na mo sa Commission on Higher Education. Okay? Sa basic education na po pwede mo tubag. Salamat, pasensya.
Okay, sir. Muna ito mga concern nila. Ako lang ipili-pili ito mag-part sa ato ang pwede na ito matubag. Okay, sir. Siguro, wala na tayo na isikutan. So, anytime, mangailami sa imo ang contact number para pwede na mo matawagan ka. Bisag di ka kani sa station, pwede ka na mo tawagan kung sa mga concern nato sa itong mga estudyante.
Daghang salamat kay si Renz o ang akong secretary mo Dora na imo ron si Renz. Salamat kayo. Uturon ko pag-usap. Pagsulti, salamat kayo kang Sir Renz Sumalidok ang atong angkorban karon in atong programa sa iyong pagkuntagon sa TXBL 107.7 Light FM o sa atong station manager si Ma'am Jane Llamas. Salamat kay inyong tanan. What you ko lang bayad sa inyong serbisyo karon sa Department of Education. Mao ra gyud akong pag-ampo o pagpahinaot nga butan pa mo ug dugangan pagkagayunan sa atong labang makadagahong makapadayon sa inyong pagserbisyo sa atong katawhan din sa probinsya sa Lanao del Norte, pinagi sa inyong kahimanan sa atong istasyon, maghatod og mga balita uban pang impormasyon. Ug salamat kaayo. In behalf of all the teachers, school heads of the Department of Education Division of Lanao del Norte, my ending thanks to all of you, Sir Renz ug Ma'am Kay. Welcome mo anytime kung aduna mo idugang ng mga pangutana kabayan sa atong Department of Education. Pwede po niyo matawagan bisan unsa nga oras sa mahinahon lang kung di lang mo konflikto sa akong aktibidades kay matubag tamo diretso kung galing na konflikto ang inyong pagsabot ng yun akong pangayoon kay isa ra may itong lawas. Ang ako lang po yun, salamat sa inyong pagkagalit ng panahon nga gitagaan ko karon panahon nga kayo maman sa itong katawan pinaagi sa itong kahin hanginan o sa inyong radio station. Daghang salamat si Renz, Ginoo mag-open ninyo sa inyong pamilya, sa inyong pamilya. Salamat kayo. Kikan sa Department of Education.
Salamat kayo sir. Sige, salamat po kayo sa imuhang panahon ng gihatag. Aron na paghatod usab sa mga dugang kasayuran sa mga katawag na bilang sir. And Alberto Opinani ato ang School Division Supervisor. Superintendent sa Lanao del Norte personal ni hatag gayud og panahon kay gayunan karon. Sir, dugang pa nga among pangayoon imong nga panahon kay murag mapulangan pa to. Ato balik-balik ko sir. Sa lain usab nato nga
Floor, start na sa floor. 9 o'clock na. Si Arlene Manginsay, Nana? Wala siya. Si Sarah Bridget ang pero sige lang, tawagan lang gyapon si Chief Ablin. Basig naka-hook siya karon online sa kuan while on travel. Sige na. So good na ta. Tawagan sa si Sir Malihog daan ay hata mo start. Ay, kagwapa ni Christine.
Okay na tama man?
Kira siya. Tanawa akong background, Chris.
Yes, ma'am.
Maklaro na maklaro na balde. Kita ang balde yung salad sa tubig sa aircon. Butang ang orchid o kawayan.
Pag-1 Friday, yan.
I-text lang. Santa Chris.
Okay, ma'am.
Pili ng pinan. Pili ng pinan.
Central has take some basic. Ina?
Kuha na ko.
Yan, sir?
Pili ng pinan. Okay. Sige, iwan mo imong kuha. Iwan imong kamera.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I remind everyone that mornings are great reminders that God has given us another day, not just to enjoy, but to correct the wrongs of yesterday. Good morning, Sir SIS, Sir Eddie, and Ma'am Ann. Good morning. To officially start our third division management committee meeting, help me. This person is okay. To sorry, okay. To officially start our division management committee meeting, let us make way for the singing of the Pambansang Awit to be given to us by the voice of Lanao, played by Sir Darwin Bawaan.
Sound, Chris. Walay sound.
sa kanyang kapangyarihan. Nagtitiwala na siya'y naglalaan, patuloy na naghahatid ng tunay na kagalakan. Manalig ka, hindi siya panaginip, hindi siya isang pangarap, siya'y buhay, manalig ka. At ngayon, tila walang marating na bukas. Ngunit kung siya'y aking hahayaang maganas, sa kasa'y muling mailigtas. Manalig ka, tuyuin ang luha sa mga mata. Hindi siya panaginip, hindi siya isang pangarap, siya'y buhay, manalig ka. Manalig ka, tuyuin ang luha sa mga mata. Hindi siya natutulog, hindi siya nakakalimot, kay Jesus, manalig ka. Kay Jesus, manalig ka. Manalig ka.
Unmuted. Kadikto pa kay ka.
Okay, everybody, you may now take your seats. At this time, a message will be given to us by our school's division superintendent, Alberto Oplinaria. Unmute your mic, sir.
Good morning. Hello, Flor. Hello, Flor. Good afternoon. Good morning, our Assistant School Superintendent, Marian Alira, Team, the School Governance and Operations Division, Dr. Maricarti Ablin, Chief of the Curriculum Implementation Division, Dr. Mary Arlene Carbonera, all the education program supervisors, all the district supervisors, schoolets elementary and secondary, and before proceeding, I would like to inform each and everyone that I am here in Bacolod Central School, temporarily having myself stationed here because I have been from the Grace FM, Bacolod, to inform the people about our learning continuity plan and our procedures of enrollment. At the outset, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to the district supervisor of the district of Bacolod, Mrs. Ima Labunog, and also the school head, the principal, Bacolod Central Integrated School, Mrs. Shigred Espinosa, and all the school heads of Bacolod District who are now listening to this to live stream. The following, I am giving my special thanks to Venus Palangan of Pagayawan, of course to Shigred P. Espinosa, our principal in this office where I am now, Ms. Claribel G. Cristol, Mr. Elber G. Gudisto, Ms. Melky M. Duron, Ida M. Alcaleta, and Miller G. Pancho. Also, my warm greeting to and special thanks to the teachers, Bacolod Central Integrated Schools, and all the teachers of the district of Bacolod for giving me the time and the opportunity to make use of their internet connection so that I can reach all of you, because I am in my office right now because I have to do also a special task about the linkage that we need to do for our learning continuity plan under the new normal. Today, we call up all school heads because we need to inform you of the latest information shared to us by Regional Director Art Bayukot during the recently concluded Regional Management Committee online Mancom that we have last week. Okay? And those informations will be shared to you by our Assistant Superintendent, Miriam Alera. Ma'am, please take charge for that. And also, there are some important informations that we need to share to all of you, especially the proper etiquette in teleconferencing. No? We need to discuss that because our Regional Director, Art Bayukot, expressed his concern during the last Mancom that we need also to follow etiquette, no, in video conferencing. These are important and important topics actually, and it will be dished out to you by somebody from the School Governance and Operations Division. Also, our Education Program Supervisor will also give us updates as regards to the preparation of the modules per learning area, and also Dr. Cone Emborong will give us information as regards to the status of the assigned tasks for Lana del Norte in regard to the preparation of the modules. We are assigned in grade 6 and first quarter and third quarter, I think. And Dr. Connie Umburong is the focal person, and she will inform us as to the level of preparation or the progress to the okay. Then also, aside from that, there are other informations that will be given to you, and please take time to listen. Flor, madungan ko, Flor. Wala ko.
Yes, sir.
Tawagin daw si Flor.
Sir.
Okay na, Flor? Okay. So, again, sorry for internet signal, and again, we will continue our activity. And as I have said, information will be shared to you by our Assistant Superintendent. Okay? Then, today, I will be proceeding after here, after my opening talk with you, I'll be proceeding to the office of the Municipal Mayor of Bacolod for some important engagements also relative to our learning continuity plan. I would like to inform all of you that yesterday I was able to engage successfully Mayor Arnado of Coswagan for his support for our learning continuity plan. He actually gave his 100% support, especially on the use of radios, the reproduction of modules. So my dear EPSS, in the Curriculum Implementation Division through Ma'am Arlene Carbonera, you are, it's only the modules that will be waiting, and we cannot proceed with the reproduction because our mayors have already expressed support. Again, it's Mayor Arnado yesterday. The other day, it was Mayor Baco expressed also his support to assist us in the reproduction renting modules. Also, he expressed his support in the lessons through using the radio station in Patagan. As I have said, after my talk to you, I will proceed to the office of Mayor Judith Migyabas because I need also to engage her about her support, for her support, to engage her for her support for our learning continuity plan. Then after Randy Bacapil, will also be engaging him as regards to our learning continuity plan. So, my dear friends, my dear scholars, elementary and secondary supervisors, district and division supervisors, all officials of DepEd Lanao del Norte, SDO, the SGOD, is continue our preparation for our learning continuity plan. And I am also doing my share for the preparations. That's the reason why I am not in my office, but I still manage to connect with you through the equipment we have at Bacolod Integrated Central Integrated School, through the leadership of Ms. Sigrid Espinosa and the district supervisor, Ma'am Ima Labunog, and the support of all the teaching staff of the school and also the school heads of Bacolod District. I wish you luck for this activity, and I would like to inform you in advance that we might be able to extend our Mancom meeting until tomorrow because I have given instruction to Assistant Superintendent Alara that we will be using only half day because you need to go back to your schools also to look for the concerns in enrollment. By the way, I now recall one topic that we will be discussing with ESDS Alera is about the data for enrollment. Well, as of today, we have 46,000 plus, 46,000 plus enrolled learners in our system. But what we find out with ESDS Alera is the enrollment forms were not properly filled up. There are data that are badly needed for our learning continuity plan that were not filled up by parents. No, so it's a concern that we need to address now, all school heads all over the division of Lanao del Norte, because if we will continue this without those data, chances are we may find it hard to fit with our plan because those data are badly needed. Like for example, the capacities of our houses. Do they have TV? Do they have radio? Appropriate innovative modality trend. Again, that will be we have check that because it's definitely a factor to the success or failure of our plan. This will clearly understood by all of you. And this time, my dear friends, I know we are greatly challenged by COVID-19. This pandemic, this was called new normal that we'll face. But nonetheless, we have to do this because we have choice as government employees. We need to pursue our plans. I wish you luck and good morning.
Thank you, Sir Eddie, for that message. At this point, we are going to listen to the food for thought to be given to us by. Okay. Food for thought will be given to us by our Public Schools District Supervisor assigned in Baroy and SND. No other than Sir Joselito Epe. Sir Epe, 299 participants are listening for your food for thought. Take it away, sir.
Good morning. Our food for thought this morning was shared to us by Elizabeth Kubler which say that the most beautiful people I've known are those who have known trials, have known struggles, have known loss, and have found their way at the depth. Good morning.
Thank you, Sir Epe. There's glitches, kaya ang atong signal, wala-wala yun. So, hope everybody was listening to the food for thought given by Sir Epe. This time, to set our mood straight, let us participate on the Energizer. Wait for a while. Sir Lord is just speaking something.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Hello. I welcome you to our Division Management Committee meeting. To set our mood straight, I would like to lead everybody in the live streaming, in the MS Teams, in the Zoom. I would like to lead everyone in an energizer. This is a unique energizer since we are not going to dance, to do some Zumba. We are only going to use our magic fingers, our hands, our arms, and our shoulders. We are going to do the Energizer in the tune of Savage Love. I know you are familiar with that song. Okay, so are you ready? Thumbs up, everybody. Okay, so here's our Energizer. Good morning, everyone. Hello. I welcome you to our Division Management Committee meeting. To set our moods,
Energizer. We will be listening to the rules on how to participate in a teleconferencing. So help me welcome Ma'am Arlene Manginsay to give us the etiquette in video conferencing. Ma'am Arlene.
Good morning, everyone. My due respect to our schools division superintendent, Sir Edelberto Oplinaria, our assistant schools division superintendent, Ma'am Mary Ann Aliera, to our chief in the curriculum implementation division, Ma'am Arlene Carbonera, and to our chief in SGOD, Dr. Maria Carmila P. Abdin, to all education program supervisors, district supervisors, and all DepEd employees in this division, school heads. Good morning, everyone. So this is our regional memorandum number 220, series of 2020. The observance of proper etiquette when engaging in video conferencing, dated June 1. Let me read to you the memorandum to all of us. The current health crisis situation has prompted organization, establishment, and communities to actively engage in video conferencing for various activities. To maximize platform in effectiveness, all range of points regarding etiquette in video. There are the etiquette. There are 10, perfect 10 proper etiquette in video conferencing. First, we must condition our ourselves for the activity. We must ensure that we are prepared and available for active engagement. Second, dress properly for the affair, and we do not look sloppy or messy or untidy during the conference. So we must observe proper dress code. Number 3 is before ensure that your microphone, speakers, headphones, and internet connectivity are in place. Number 4, blur your background or use a decent one. We must ensure that the room we used or chosen there are no distracting features on it or anybody who can distract during the conference. 5, find a quiet or private space. Ensure that your area is not vulnerable to unnecessary noise. Number 6, we must observe proper cueing and timing. We'll ensure that we get the right verbal and non-verbal cues when requesting to be recognized for a question or comment. So that was number 6. Number 7, we must speak only when recognized. Ensure that our microphone and camera are turned off unless authorized. Number 8, demonstrate active engagement. Ensure that you manifest active listening and balanced communication, especially during conversation. 9, show reverence and appreciation for the presenter. Ensure that you give the presenter your full attention. And lastly, be grateful for the opportunity. Ensure that you imbibe a positive vibe throughout the activity and be thankful for whatever takeaway you get out of the experience. This was signed by our regional director, Arturo B. Bayukot, CSUT 3. So we must observe all those proper etiquette mentioned during our video conferencing. Thank you so much. And once again, good morning.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Arlene, for the etiquette and participating the video conference. This time to check if everybody is help me welcome to pasok for the checking of attendance. Sir Arman. Sir Arman. Sir Arman. Naka-mute imong mic, sir. Naka-mute imong mic, Sir Arman.
Hello? Hello?
Okay, Sir Arman. for the checking of attendance.
Hello, good morning everyone. For the checking of attendance, may I request Sir Floor to gather the number of participants through the in applying for the website. Sir Floor, because by calling individually it takes time. So I request Sir Floor Velarde to gather the number of participants for this Mancom meeting. Sir Floor, have you heard me?
Okay,
Sir
sir.
Floor.
Okay, Sir Arman. Noted.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you, Sir Arman. For the
Okay.
information of everybody, for the checking of attendance, please sign in to www.menti.com and use the code 332112. You will see the instruction in the screen and then answer all the again, log in to www.menti.com and use the code 332112 for the attendance. Thank you. For the call to order, let us call again our school's division superintendent, Sir Eddie Oplenaria. Sir, for the call to order. Sir Eddie. Ma'am Ann. Sir Eddie might be traveling as of this moment.
Hi. Hello.
Yes, Ma'am Ann. Basi nag-travel si Sir Eddie ba? Ano na si Sir Eddie?
Ano siya?
Okay. Sir Eddie, for the call to order.
Okay. Ma'am, na manage si Ma'am kay will be representing to the office of the mayor.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
And then answer all the Yes, Ma'am Ann.
By virtue of the empowerment vested by the school's division superintendent, because he is going to attend to another equally important concern on linkaging the stakeholders, especially on the local government officials, the municipal mayor of Bacolod, and upon checking of attendance, ensuring that majority of the Mancom family are present using MS Teams and live streaming. The meeting is now called to order.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Ann. At this time, we will be discussing the business arising from the minutes of the previous video conference.
Chris? Hello, Chris? Since we haven't distributed the minutes of the meeting yet, so may I request for any motion from among the participants to forego with the reading and discussion on issues and concerns in the minutes of the meeting, assuring also that by next Mancom, we will distribute ahead of time the minutes of the meeting to all participants so that we could deliberate on possible issues and concerns that prop up during the management committee meeting. Anybody who is going to move for the foregoing of the reading of the minutes of the Mancom and discussion of issues and concerns? We need a motion. Anyone?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Ma'am, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Ma'am, I move to dispense the reading of the previous minutes and move to proceed with the proper meeting.
Who is this one, sir?
Mr. Warner Edria, ma'am.
Sir?
Mr. Warner Edria.
Yes, Mr. Edrea, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Welcome.
Thank you. Second the motion, please.
I second the motion, ma'am. Connie Borong, I second the motion.
Okay, it has been moved by our HRMO, Mr. Warnie Edrea, that we are going to forego with the reading of the minutes of the Mancom and the discussion of the issues and concerns that prop up, and seconded by our Education Program Supervisor, tasked to do LRMDS, Dr. Connie Imborong, and therefore, we are going to proceed to another topic for this Mancom.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Ann. At this point, we will be starting to present some reports. Let's start with SGOD Chief Concerns. May I call on Ma'am Maria Carmela T. Abling, the SGOD Chief.
This GOD Chief is going to be represented by the Senior Education Program Specialist for Research. Shall we welcome? Continue, Tin.
Sorry na. Okay, so Sir Bridget Abaloyo for the SGOD concern. Sir, take it away. Your mic is on mute, Sir Bridge.
Hello, Ma'am Tin. Good morning.
Okay, sir. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Hello, Ma'am Tin. Good morning.
Okay, no need. Go ahead, Sir Bridge.
Nakita na ang presentation, Ma'am Tin.
Yes. Yes, sir. Okay.
So my respect to our Schools Division Superintendent, Sir Edelberto Plinaria, to our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Ma'am Mary Ann Aliera, and to our Division Chiefs, Section Heads, and School Administrators who are in attendance for this third Division Mancom. My greetings of peace and solidarity to all of you. At this juncture, I will be presenting and sharing to you one of the topics being discussed during the regional Mancom, which is the minimum health standards. This is in relation to the Administrative Order number 15, series of 2020 of the Department of Health, which is the guidelines on the risk-based public health standards for COVID-19 mitigation. These guidelines directs all government offices and workplaces, including the Department of Education Division of Lanao del Norte, to observe and implement minimum public health standards to mitigate the threat of COVID-19. With this, the Department of Education Division of Lanao del Norte, minimum health standards will be in accordance now to the Department of Health for COVID-19 mitigation objectives, which are as follows. First, increase physical and mental resilience. Second, reduce transmission. Third, reduce contact. And fourth is to reduce duration of infection. For the first objective, which is to increase physical and mental resilience, the PowerPoint is not working.
Sir Bridge, makita ra namin imong presentation.
But, dili na siya mo next slide, Ma'am Tin.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. So for the first objective, which is to increase physical and mental resilience, these are the minimum health standards. First, promotion of healthy lifestyle and safe environment through OK sa DepEd 6 flagship programs implementation. These programs are the following. We have the school-based feeding program, drug education program, adolescent reproductive health education, water, sanitation, and hygiene in schools, and medical, dental, and nursing services. Second, health standard is the health screening health checklist under the MDN services or the medical, dental, and nursing services. Third, school-based feeding program with provision of hot meals, fresh milk, and snacks for the first 21 days. Provision of vitamins, vaccines, deworming in staggered schedule. Advocacy for regular exercise, eating well, sleeping well, and drinking minimum of 8 glasses of water. Then we also have PFA or psychological first aid for first 1 month with MHPSS or mental health and psychosocial support hotlines from trained personnel and partners, coordination with LGU, DOH, and other stakeholders for resource, supply, equipment, and manpower, scaling up in-depth promotion of drug-free, tobacco-free, vape-free schools, and alcohol-free schools. Then the last minimum health standards that we need to implement and we need to observe to increase physical and mental resilience is to strengthen our WINS implementation with provision of hand washing facilities in all schools. Next objective is to reduce transmission, and the minimum health standards are the following. First, strict implementation of guideline for school entrance, inside school, and going homes protocol. Queuing at 1 meter radius, front, side, and back. No mask, no entry policy. Hand washing with soap for 20 seconds or with 70% alcohol. Non-contact thermal scan with 37.5 ang atuang cut-off. Foot bath before entrance to school and classrooms. Regular disinfection and sanitation daily for all classrooms and offices and twice a day for clinic or isolation area. Then cough etiquette. So for the first health standard, which is to the strict implementation of guidelines for school entrance, inside schools, and going home protocol, these are the protocols. At the school entrance, queuing at least 1 meter radius, front, side, and back. Floor markers or chairs must be in place in the school entrance. Hand washing stations or alcohol dispensers in strategic locations. No mask, no entry policy. Then, before they can enter the school, the learners, the teachers, and other school personnel must accomplish daily symptom questionnaire or health declaration form, or what we call the health checklist. Then after that, there must be a temperature check, a non-contact thermal scan. For the accomplishment of the health checklist, you must use your personal pens or use sanitizers before and after using provided pens. So here's the protocol. We have here the different symptoms of the COVID-19, which is indicated in the health checklist. Sore throat, body pains, headache, cough, colds, fever in the past few days, close contact with confirmed COVID-19, contact with anyone with above symptoms in the past 2 weeks, travel outside Philippines, travel to any area in NCR and other regions confirmed to have COVID-19 cases. After accomplishing this checklist, if naay symptoms ang bata or naay isa ka check lang ani yes on any of the listed items on the health checklist, then the learner or the teaching and non-teaching personnel must proceed now to the isolation area. In the isolation area, there must be a clinic teacher which will be in proper PPE. Then further assessment if necessary by the medical officer or our registered nurses, and call DOH hotline for referral. Then send home medical advice management, then refer to our MHO or CHO. So maoto kung naay any of the listed items nga naa sa health checklist. If none of the ani nga na-listed sa atong health checklist, then the learners, our teachers, and other teaching and non-teaching personnel sa school may now enter the school. No? Dayon, kung using the temperature check of non-contact thermal scan, kung ang iyahang fever is below 37.5 degrees Celsius, then he or she can now enter the school. If ang iyahang fever is 37.5 degrees Celsius or above, then kana siya, that personnel or that individual will be isolated and recheck temperature after 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, then pwede na po i-check ang iyahang temperature. Kung equal to 37.5 degrees Celsius or higher paghihapon, then that individual must proceed to the isolation area and send home na po na siya, or he or she cannot enter the school, no? Dayon, during sa makasulod na siya sa eskwelahan, make sure nga naatay disinfection or disinfect by soaking shoes, footwear on doormat with disinfectant, and these three minimum standards na po sa ato ang eskwelahan inside the school. Then for the biometrics or automated machines and others, make sure that clean hands before and after using the biometric scanners, photocopy machines, shredders, ATMs, and others. So kung nisulod na dayon ang ato ang
Jet.
Yes, ma'am.
Kajut lang ha. This is also a reminder, dili lang for the children, but also for the school heads, teachers, and the non-teaching personnel in the school. They shall ensure that they should have hand washing, not just alcohol, because in hand washing it's better after the hand washing there shall be alcohol before they will press on the biometric scanner, and after using the biometric scanner they're again going to wash their hands and use rubbing alcohol to ensure safety of everyone.
Yes, Ma'am Ann. That's why, Ma'am Ann, at the school entrance, there must be hand washing stations or alcohol dispensers in strategic locations.
Alcohol dispensers. There are designs of alcohol dispensers. Schools also are encouraged to produce this. Okay, continue, Jet.
Okay, Ma'am Ann. Thank you, Ma'am Ann. So, we have here also the minimum health standards inside the school. Inside the school, practice distancing of 1 meter, front, side, back. Avoid touching surfaces that are potentially contaminated or frequently touched by others. Avoid touching your mouth, eyes, and nose. Practice respiratory etiquette at all times. Use tissue or inner portion of elbow when coughing or sneezing. Practice proper tissue disposal. Alcohol dispensers located in strategic locations. So these are the minimum health standards for the different areas inside the school. For the waiting area or common areas, 1 meter distance, front, side, back, floor markers, unidirectional walkways, and aisle, limit entry of visitors at a time, wear mask at all times. For our classrooms, 1 meter distance, front, side, back, wear masks and other appropriate PPE at all times, may place physical barriers, for example, improvised plastic table shields, refrain from sharing of pens and other learning supplies, disinfection measures, spray with handheld sprayer or wipe at least every after shift. For break time, such as cafeteria and canteen, optimal allowable seats, discourage conversing with people, place signages, may eat in classroom instead, and no sharing of meals. 1 meter distance, front, side, back. Wear mask and other appropriate PPE at all times. May place physical barriers. Example is improvised plastic table shields and refrain from sharing of pens and other learning supplies. For our restrooms, our minimum standard, regular cleaning and disinfection every after shift, limit entry to allow proper distancing. Liquid soap and dispenser or hand dryer must also be in place. All floors and walls disinfect periodically, especially to frequently touched surfaces. Switches, doorknobs, handrails, and others, clean hands immediately after handling any of the above. Sanitizers must be on strategic locations and promote one-way use of staircases and paths to reduce direct human-to-human contact. Take note that while the learners, our personnel inside the school there's a sudden manifestation of COVID symptoms while in school, the learners or our teachers, they must proceed to the isolation area and follow the same procedure. Take note to our school administrators and teachers, according to our regional medical officer, that our clinic is not an isolation area. You must designate other classrooms, other building, or other rooms as an isolation area of the school. Now, for going home, these are the minimum health standards. Disposable use PPE or mask must be placed in a separate plastic and disposed in designated infectious bins. After use of washable masks must be kept in a closed plastic bag. Refrain from putting in your pocket or inside your personal belongings. Refrain from kissing or hugging family members. Take a bath first. Discard as in separate hamper used uniform or outfit away from family members or immediately soak in water with detergent. Essentials brought home like ID tags, bags, keys, and others should be securely placed outside the house. Frequently clean cell phones and gadgets. Put in Ziploc plastic for easy cleaning or change every after tour of duty. Then follow physical distancing in vehicles or in any form of transportation. So we also have workers, including teachers and personnel, and learners exposure risk to COVID-19. And we identified 4 exposure risk or classified it into 4. We have the low exposure risk, medium exposure risk, high exposure risk, and very high exposure risk. Individuals under low exposure risk are individuals that are only in contact for a brief period of time. Jobs do not require contact with people known to be or suspected of being infected. Workers have minimal occupational contact with the public and other co-workers. Then practice physical distancing at all times and follow applicable engineering, administrative, and PPE controls in your workplace. You are under medium exposure risk if you are in contact for a longer period of time and are fairly distant from each other. Jobs that require frequent or close contact with people who may be infected but who are not known or suspected patients or close contacts of the same. Workers may have contact with the general public, example, restaurants, high population, density work environments, some high volume retail settings, including individuals returning from location with widespread COVID-19 transmission. Follow applicable engineering, administrative, and PPE controls in your workplaces. A person is under high exposure risk if a person is in prolonged close contact and may not be able to practice physical distancing at all times. Large group of individuals in a given time. Example, our inmates. Then, jobs with a high potential for exposure to known or suspected sources of COVID-19, healthcare delivery, healthcare support, medical transport, and mortuary workers exposed to known or suspected COVID-19 patients, or bodies of people known to have or suspected of having COVID-19 at the time of death. We must follow applicable engineering, administrative, and PPE controls in your workplaces. A person is under very high exposure risk if healthcare workers, these are health workers, morgue workers performing aerosol generating procedures on or collecting or handling specimens from potentially infectious patients or bodies of people known to have or suspected of having COVID-19 at the time of death. Follow applicable engineering, administrative, and PPE controls in your workplaces. So these are the different minimum health standards that we must observe and implement. These are the protocols at the school entrance, inside the school, and going home. The next objective is to reduce contact. And these are the minimum health standards on how we can reduce contact. Physical distancing of 1 meter apart at all times, front, back, and sides. No touching of eyes, nose, and mouth. Avoid touching surfaces frequently touched by others. Reduce movement within rooms and across all areas inside the classroom. Restrict mass gathering like flag ceremony and other congregation beyond 20 in number. For engineering control, install plastic barriers for isolation or triage of symptomatic learners. Signages and markings for one-way entrance and exits with physical distancing. Administrative control, special section or work arrangement for the most vulnerable. All contact sports activities are canceled. Temporary closure of schools when risk become high. Then for the fourth objective, which is to reduce duration of infection, these are the minimum health standards. First, daily health checklist review in the classroom by the teacher who will operationalize fast or preventive alert system in school and immediately report symptomatic learners and personnel. Early notification of principal and health personnel or clinic teacher for assessment and referral to LGU all within 30 minutes from detection of flu-like signs and symptoms with or without fever. Patients are placed in an isolated room for triage or assessment before referral to LGU for possible testing and facility isolation. Contact tracing will be done by health personnel in coordination with LGU for quarantine measures. Take note to all personnel that wearing of prescribed attire for learners and personnel must be observed. No repeat use of clothing, short sleeves for hand washing, pants instead of skirts, close comfortable shoes, and avoid wearing of jewelry and accessories, and must always wear PPE or face mask. So these are the minimum health standards on how we can reduce duration of infection. Before I will end my presentation, let me share to all of you one of the lines of our Secretary Briones, and I quote, "We should not abandon edukalidad. It is a very tough, challenging, and exciting task to balance our existing programs with the immediate and urgent necessities at this time. Thank you and keep safe."
Thank you,
Hello,
Teacher Bridge, for that comment. Okay, ma'am.
Jet. Thank you, Jet.
Welcome, Ma'am Ann.
Hello to everybody. Thank you, Jet, for sharing that one, for the signages, for the information. What are those reminders that we are going to place at the entrance, inside the school, and requirements or directions, instructions, what to do if they are going home. But for all the principals who are listening, up to now, the president is still consistent with his pronouncement that there shall be no face-to-face learning. We're just going to wait until the time when we are allowed to call our learners to be in our schools. Those sharing of Dr. Valorio are our directions, instructions, ready just in case learners and 100% of our teachers are already allowed to report to school. For now, we're still gearing up. We hope and pray that the pandemic will subside and all of us, all learners will be allowed to report in the school, and all personnel are allowed to report in the office 100%. But for now, we are still on skeleton. The division office is still implementing status quo as declared in the Fed memorandum number 56. Let me cite the status quo on work arrangements for officials and non-teaching personnel in all DepEd offices, units, and schools is extended anew, and teachers in DepEd schools nationwide shall work from home until the issuance of the new guidelines. Let me repeat, the teachers shall work from home until the issuance of new guidelines. Question, how about the principals? The principals, being the chief executives of the schools, shall ensure that you also report in your schools being the head of that institution. By all means, if you could have a transportation of your own, then better. If you are living in the same locality, that is fine because it is easier for you. But reminder to everyone, the back riding up to this time is not still allowed by the IATF, the back riding of a single motorcycle. But pretty sure some of our principals already own their own vehicles, which will make you convenient in reaching your school. Just in case you cannot go because there is no transportation that is available, inform the office that you cannot report there because from time to time, some of our DepEd officials in the division office are also going to your school to monitor the repair, to monitor the construction, to to validate the SBM and all other concerns. So please inform your PSDSs regarding your whereabouts. Probably you will also declare a work from home at times because of the difficulty in reaching the office. But as much as possible, there shall be a personnel who is going to man all of the schools because that will bring a signal to the community that we are ready for the August 24 and that enrollment is also going on. For the principals, per civil service issuance, there are also reports coming to their office that on the stringent rules of the school heads and other officials regarding their teachers that just in case you have your meetings and the teachers could not immediately answer the phone or could not hook online due to poor internet signal, then by all means, we also have to understand, hindi daw kasalanan ng teacher na poor ang internet signal niya. Tapos, we are not allowed to deduct the salary of the teacher because he or she is not able to answer our call immediately or he or she is not able to access online during our meeting. because we are in a pandemic and there are issues and concerns on internet connectivity. So while you're listening to Bridget, that's very much beneficial because that would also bring us to an imagination on what kind of new normal are we going to have in our schools. What are some of those preparations? What shall we do when there are those who are having fever, cough, cold, flu? Uh, can we provide isolation room, temporary isolation room? How about our thermal scanner? Are we ready? How about our foot bath? Are we ready? So these are some of the concerns that we are going to initially start preparing because now is June, few days more, July, then another days more, August 24. It's not because that the learners are not going to school that we are not going to prepare well, but because the teachers are also coming to school. So this time, let us ensure that our teachers are also doing their part, even if they are in a work from home scheme. And reminder to the principals, ensure that there is a work week plan of our teacher. The work week plan shall have work week accomplishment of that plan every Friday. That will only be submitted to your office. There's no need to submit to the division office. Yesterday, we received this work week accomplishment and work week plan. We are going to return this to you because this is for your consumption. In the division office, we are after of the work week plan of the principals and the division personnel. So to all of us, may we find meaning in this journey in the new normal. Let's continue. Oh, by the way, for those who have questions, we have many sharers and speakers this time. Just in case you have questions, just write them down before we end the Mancom. All of those questions will be entertained unless it's not yet 12 o'clock. So get ready because Floor will give you instructions where to encode your question so that later all concerns will be able to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Ann, and thank you, Sir Bridge. For all the participants, let me acknowledge 411 participants in the YouTube and MS Teams, and only 190 already, 196 have signed the attendance or in the www.menti.com. Let me remind all other participants to sign in the attendance. And all your questions and queries, we will give you the link later. You will be posting all your questions there and it will be answered accordingly. Okay? So,
Chris?
let's continue.
Chris? Chris?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you repeat
Yes, ma'am.
Can you repeat saying the code in the Mentimeter so that those who are not able to hear a while ago will be able to enter in the Mentimeter and answer? Please give the code.
Yes, the code is already posted in the live stream. For the MS team participants, the code is 332112. Again, 332112 is the Menti code. Okay? Again, 332112. Menti code for the attendance. Okay, shall we continue? At this juncture, the updates on self-learning module development and crafting will be discussed to us by our LRMDS supervisor, Dr. Connie Emborong. Ma'am Connie.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tin. My respect to our schools division superintendent, Sir Adalberto Prinaria, and our assistant schools division superintendent, Madam Mary Ann Aliera. To our two chiefs, we have SUD Chief Ma'am Maricar Abdin And our CID
Ma'am
OIC
Connie,
chief.
please turn on your camera.
Oh, naka-turn on na, naka-turn on na. Ganihan na turn on din, pero di siguro dawaton akong dagway.
Okay.
Oh, padala to. Ikaw ba? And our OIC CID chief, Ma'am Mary Arlene Carbonera. So this point in time, I'll be presenting to you the updates on the development of our self-learning materials, our self-learning modules. And for that matter, allow me to share my screen. Hulat-hulata lang gamay kay loading siya. Okay. I think nakita na, makita naman siguro, no?
Yes, ma'am. Makita kayo, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much.
Crystal clear.
Edit lang ka. Ako sa i-full screen sa dako kadali. Okay. Okay, so updates on the development of self-learning modules or SLMs. So this is a joint effort of the CID personnel, specifically the education program supervisors, and our in the section, in the learning resource management section, with the leadership of our OIC CID chief, Madam Mary Arlene Carbonera, and also with the assistance of our concerned PSDSs and coordinating principals. For this matter, I'll be presenting to you the following data, no, as our updates on the development of the grade 6 SLMs in the first quarter. So we have the learning area, the number of competencies of this particular learning area in the first quarter, the number of teachers who are involved in the development of these SLMs, the number of SLMs developed, number of SLMs ready for the quality assurance in the division level, number of SLMs done internal review and revisions are still ongoing, and number of SLMs in which the development is still ongoing. The problems encountered, actions taken, and other concerns and updates. Let's start with science. For science, science has 6 competencies for the first quarter, and there are 31 science teachers who are tapped to do the development of these modules. Then there are 10 modules being developed with a group, by the group, with 3 lessons per module. So out of these 10 modules, 9 are now ready for the division level quality assurance. 1 has done the internal review and is being returned to the teacher for the revision. And then no problems encountered, so no actions taken and other concerns. For mathematics, mathematics has 17 competencies, and there are 10 teachers who are involved in the development of the modules. Then there are 10 SLMs developed by the group, and then these 10 modules are 2 of these were sent to the language editors and illustrator. 5 of these were returned to the writers, to the developers for revision, and 3 were done with the first stage of the review and returned to the writers for revision. Problems encountered, these are the following. Standard icons were not followed, so what the EPS did, she called the writers one by one, and technical assistance were provided for the enhancement of the SLMs. Parts were interchanged, and then submitted modules with only 1 lesson and broad learning competencies. So what she did, she gave samples of SLMs for the teacher developers to follow. For English, we have 28 learning competencies for the first quarter. 18 teachers were involved in the development process, and then there were 8 SLMs developed. Then, sorry, what did I revise? I'm kidding, 10. Actually, I'm kidding. 4 of these were underwent internal review already and being returned to the teacher developer for the revisions. And then 4 of the modules were still on the development stage. Problems encountered. Connectivity with sub-writers. So what the APS did, she did regular follow-up to these writers to these writers. For ESP has 3 learning competencies for the first quarter. 10 teachers were involved in the development process. 5 modules were being developed, and then 5 of these have undergone internal review and wala na. But Earl, murag 10 siguro di mo number of SLMs developed, no? Sige, 5 of these are ready for the quality assurance and 5 are still in the hands of the teacher developers for the revisions. One problem encountered by the ESP team, one writer backed out. So what the supervisor did, he looked for a replacement. For Filipino has 43 learning competencies. Yes, ma'am.
Pwede din mag-back out ang writer. That's the work of a teacher.
That I do not know, ma'am.
And there's a memorandum.
Gabi pa magod ako ni na waning na data, wa pud ako napangutanan si Sir Earl Bayan Adi.
There is a memorandum on this signed by the superintendent, so there should be a letter. That teacher tell the teacher to write a letter to the superintendent that she's going to back out because she does not know how to write and she does not know how to teach and she does not want to work. Ano na din atong attitude, pwede na tamang back out with the work that is related to our job. Sige, Con.
Sige, ma'am. We will ask Sir Earl about this, ma'am, para makuha na to ang teacher kinsa ni siya, ma'am. ESP na ba yun yung teacher na ba? Values teacher na ba? Sige lang. Ato lang ikuha si Sir Earl, ma'am. Makikistorya na to, Sir Earl.
Tell the teacher to write a letter with valid reason for the reason why the teacher backs out.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Noted, ma'am. Noted. Okay, so this time allow me to proceed. For Filipino, we have principals. I think principals are listening at this moment. So please relay the message, no, coming from our ESDS. This is a sort of reminder for all of us.
So that next, this is also an eye-opener next time. We'll choose writers who are willing, writers who are happy with their work, writers who are efficient and effective teachers.
Yes, ma'am. Correct. Thank you very much, ma'am, for the reminder. Okay, so Filipino has 43 learning competencies. 12 teachers were tapped in the development of these modules. 10 modules were developed. 5 of these are ready for the quality assurance in the division level, and 5 of these are still in the hands of the teacher developer for the revisions after the internal review. For EPP, TLE, we have 54 competencies, no, 54 competencies, and then 49 teachers were tapped to be involved in the development of these modules. 10 modules were developed. 7 of these are ready for the quality assurance in the division level, and 3 are still in the revision stage. For Araling Palipunan, we have 11 competencies in the first quarter. This ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Can you go back to the slide? Go back to the previous slide. EPP, TLA, agri-fishery, face-to-face activities. What do we mean by this?
Okay, ma'am. Sorry, wala rin ako nabasa. For EPP and TLE, the problem encountered, I think what Sir Tata mean for this is that in the modules, he found out that there are activities reflected in the modules that are intended for face-to-face instruction. So the action taken, he recommended to change these activities into a self-learning activity. No requirement of siguro basic group activity na nakabutang, ma'am, so iyang gi-correcan nga dili siya pwede ana kay these modules will be given to our learners, will be brought home, and then dito trabaho sa bata sa balay ang mga module. So face-to-face activities dili siya recommended. Mao siguro
okay.
Okay, ma'am, na kuadra.
Yes, continue, Con.
Okay, salamat, ma'am. Sir Tata, kung dili, please voice out, ha? Sige. Now, Araling Palipunan, we have here 40 teachers were tapped to be involved in the development process. 8 modules were being developed. 4 of these are now ready for the division level quality assurance, and 4 are still on the development stage. I hope mapaspasan eh. And then problems encountered, lack of textbook, and then weak and lack of internet connection. So actions taken in the lack of textbook, teacher developers were advised, were encouraged to source out from to available portals recommended by our department like Commons, Depend Commons, and Learning Resource Portal. For the weak and lack of internet connection, the action taken was teacher developers spent own money for the connectivity in the internet. And then some made use of the school internet connection for those schools who have that have internet connection. Pero katong wala, they spend their own. Very good kayo mga teachers. Now,
kaya ka na, Kuan.
Yes, ma'am.
Please go back to the slide. Let's congratulate the teachers and the supervisor for
Yes, ma'am.
encouraging the teachers to source out from educational portals, because Araling Panlipunan could also be learned in some other sources, especially that our books are lacking, especially now that we are in the new normal. So there are inputs, there are articles that could be applicable in grade 6 in some of the educational portals, provided these are valid, provided the information is valid. But I'm so struck by number of competencies that are 11. For the first quarter, there are 11 competencies, and the number of SLMs developed are 8. So we are still lacking, how many? 3?
No, ma'am, because there are only 8 weeks man, ma'am, good ang first quarter. So, ang module na develop 8. So, there are modules nga contains 1 or 2 lessons or 1 to 3 lessons.
Therefore, what do we lack? Number of SLM still on the development stage, kanina lang 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Or the date?
Out of 8 modules na develop. 4 ang dapat development stage, meaning wala pa siya na internal review.
Oh, what is our deadline for the submission of this in the division level?
15.
Today is 10, so we have 5 days more.
Nag-double time na po sila ani ma'am, nagkuhan po sa Sir Lito ani ira po nagipaspasan, follow up na siya sige ni siya mga writers.
So this is our reminder.
Dito sa 15 puhon.
This is a reminder to the supervisors. All supervisors, please encourage, motivate your writers so they can cope with the schedule of submission. That is June 15 in the division level, because we would like to ensure quality assured self-learning module to be submitted to the region as deadline June 30. So we hope to have 15 days more allowance for the perfection of this work, because this will be used by all learners in Region 10, all divisions in Region 10. And we could be identified as writers. The grade 6 SLMs come from the division of Lanao del Norte, and we would like to produce the best SLMS for all learners of Region 10.
Yes, ma'am. Sige, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Salamat kay ma'am. Shall I proceed, ma'am?
Yes, go na.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am Ann. Okay, now let's have MAPE this time. So for music has 4 competencies. There are 2 teachers who are tapped to develop modules for these competencies. And then there are 4 modules being developed. These modules are now ready for quality assurance at the division level. For arts, arts has 11 competencies. 3 teachers were tapped to develop the modules, and then 10 modules are being developed. So one is now ready for module is now ready for quality assurance in the division level. 10 has other 10 of the modules na ongoing internal review and being returned to the teacher developer for the revisions. And then for PE, PE has 8 competencies. 3 teachers were tapped to develop the modules, and 8 modules were being developed. All of these modules are still in the hands of the teacher developers for revisions. Then health Health has 8 learning competencies. 3 teachers were tapped to develop the modules. 8 modules were being developed, and all of these are also in the hands of the teacher developers for revision. For MAPE, for MAPE learning areas, they have common problems encountered and actions taken. So for problems encountered, we have unavailability of textbooks. So they made use of the harvested sample modules from the DepEd Commons. And then next is incomplete attendance of writers and consultants. So they have consultants in MAPE. During video conferencing due to no or poor internet connection. So they tap other members of the committee for updates and informations in the development of the modules. So now let's have the updates on the development of the self-reading modules in other grade levels. So we have the kinder to grade 1 to 5. So let's start with kinder. So same data will be presented. So for kinder, it has 78 learning competencies. So for this, there are 79 teachers who are tapped to develop the modules, and there are 44 SLMs being developed by the team. 8 of these 44 modules are ready for the division quality assurance. 21 are having the ongoing revision, and then 15 are still on this development stage. For problems encountered, we have confusion with the technicalities in the writing of modules. So what the EPS did, she asked the writers to attend an online training or a webinar conducted by the office, and ADMLR standards were also recommended to be the reference in the development of these modules. Then another problem encountered is the unpacking of the competencies. So the action taken, we made use of the curriculum guide. No? Then we have the confusion of the orthography or terminologies used to be used. So the action taken is they refer to the orthography of Tinubuanong, Binisaya, and Meradao. For MTB MLE, so for grade 1, it has 71 competencies. 74 teachers were tapped to do the development of the SLMs. 42 modules are being developed. 5 of these are now ready for the division quality assurance level. And then quality assurance at the division level, rather. And then 25 are still in the revision stage, and 12 are still on the development stage. For grade 2, 39 competencies were being addressed in the development of the modules with the total number of 30, and then there are 34 teachers who are tapped to do the development. So out of 35 of these modules are now ready for the division level quality assurance, 50 are in the revisions stage, and then 10 are on the development stage. For grade 3, 26 learning competencies. And then we have 32 teachers. 18 are developed. Out of these 18, 5 are now ready for the quality assurance in the division level. 6 are on the revision stage, and 7 are still on the development stage. For MTB, it has a common problems encountered and actions taken, same with the kindergarten. For science, grade 3, number of competencies, we have 6. Number of teachers, 10. Number of modules developed, 6. All of these are still on the development stage. For grade 4, we have 9 competencies. 13 teachers were tapped to do the development. So 9 modules are also being developed, and all of these are still on the development stage. 6 competencies, 10 teachers, 6 modules. All of these are still on the development stage, ongoing pa. For grade 7, we have 8 competencies, 12 teachers, 8 modules, and all of these modules are on process, ongoing and development. For grade 8, we have 9 competencies, 30 teachers, and 9 modules being developed. Again, All of these modules are still on the development stage. For grade 9, we have 5 competencies, 9 teachers were top, and then 5 modules were being developed. All of these are still on the development stage. For grade 10, we have 5 competencies with 9 teacher developers, so 5 modules. Again, all of these are still on the development stage. For Earth and Life Science, 13 competencies with 14 teacher developers. And we have 10 modules still on the development stage. For DRR, we have 18 competencies, 14 teachers, and 10 modules still on the development stage. And for Physical Science, we have 16 competencies, 14 teachers, 10 developed modules, and still on the all of these are still on the development stage. For Mathematics, we have 10 competencies for grade 1. For Binisaya, we have 10 teachers and 7 teachers for Maranao. Number of SLMs developed, 10 for Sinubuano, Binisaya, and 10 for Maranao. So, we have here 9 SLMs are 9 SLMs are still on the revision stage. Okay, so one done the content evaluation and is being returned to writer for revisions. 4 of the modules are now being checked, reviewed, and returned for revision. 4 submitted but not yet checked. And 8 are still on the development stage. Next, we have grade 2, 14 competencies, 11 teachers who developed the modules, Sinubuano, Binisaya, and 9 teachers were involved in the Maranao modules. And then 10 modules for Sinubuano, Binisaya, and 10 modules for Maranao. Then 8 SLMs are still on the revision stage. 1 done content validation and returned to the writer for revision. 4 modules are checked, reviewed, and returned for revision. 3 submitted but not yet checked. For grade 3, we have 16 competencies. 1 teacher is tasked to do the module for Sinubuano, Binisaya. Then 8 ka-teachers ang naghibo sa Maranao ng module. But for the number of modules, 10 for Sinubuano, Binisaya, and 10 for Maranao. Out of these 10, we have 3 SLMs na pakaroon sa revision stage. For grade 4, we have 16 competencies. Number of teachers top the development are 12. 10 SLMs were developed. And then 7 of these 10 are now in the revision stage and 3 are still on the development stage. For grade 5, we have 17 competencies. 10 teachers are tapped to do the development and 10 modules are being developed. So out of this 10, 8 are now in the revision stage. For grade 7, we have 15 competencies and 7 teachers were involved in the development process. 10 modules are being developed. Out of these 10, 4 are now in the revision stage, and then 3 in the development stage. For grade 8, we have 18 competencies, 5 teachers, and 10 modules. Out of these 10, 3 are now in the revision stage and 2 in the development stage. For grade 9, we have 16 competencies, 2 teachers, and 10 modules. And then out of this 10, we have 1 that is now in the revision stage. For grade 10, we have 12 competencies. 3 teachers were tapped to do the development. 10 modules are being developed, and out of this 10, 1 is now in the revision stage. For mathematics, it has common problems encountered and actions taken. So we have standards were not followed. So for the action taken, the supervisor called the writer one by one and provided technical assistance. Then we have lack of illustrators. So we provided the developers with samples of SLMs to check the illustrations. No, and she also tapped other teachers to do the illustration. And then practical application activities not reflected. So again, he called the writer one by one and provided technical assistance. Same with the type of test that followed. No submission of SLMs by sub-writers. So what she did, she reminded the writers in the GC or email to follow the standard. And with regards to the lack of no submission of SLMs by sub-writers, she also tapped the coordinators in mathematics as well as the sub-select principals to serve as additional writers and share the link of list of module writers to the GCs where those interested can fill in their names, thus signifying their intention to be involved in the development process of these SLMs. For English, for grade 1, so we have we don't have first and second quarter, no? So we have here the third and fourth quarter. 15 ka-teachers are involved in the development stage. Wala pa na ito nakuha ang number of competencies. We will provide you with that data later. Basig makuha na ito ni Ma'am Eva after. The number of SLMs developed, we have 16. One of these is now in the revision stage and 15 are still on the development stage. For grade 2, it has 38 competencies with 26 writers. 8 modules are developed. Out of these 8, 2 are now ready for the quality assurance in the division level. 2 are now are in the revision stage and 4 are still on the development stage. For grade 3, we have 59 competencies, 15 teachers, and 8 modules. Out of these 8, 3 of these are already in the division level evaluation. 2 of these are in revision stage and 3 in the development stage. For grade 4, 38 competencies, 15 teachers, and 8 modules. 3 of these modules are ready for the division level quality assurance. 1 is in the revision stage and 4 are still on the development stage. For grade 5, we have 33 competencies, 12 teachers with 8 developed modules. Out of these 8, 2 are now ready for the division level quality assurance, 2 are in the revision stage, and 4 in the development stage. So for grades 1 to 5, they have common problems encountered, actions taken, and we also have the other concerns and updates. For our problems encountered is they have the confusion on the competencies to use as there are several versions given to the field. Actually, provided to the field, no? Kay pareha din sa central office, ang LR portal, there are disseminating links where teachers can access the milk. But then, since we have a different, we're using the ELK, so naglibog ang mga maestra. So what the supervisor did, she explained to the lead principals that while CEO, central office, provided the milk, the regional office requires division offices to use the ELKs in the development of essential learning competencies in the development of SLMs. And that is the reason also why I posted in Facebook that reminding all teachers to not to rely on websites and FB pages or groups that are not DepEd or that kanan dili siya DepEd recognized, no, mga website kay it might lead to confusion pa ni saan siya i-please po hatag yung papel okay. Before ako before ko continue, allow me to announce to all that we, as of this moment, we have 184 teacher illustrators who signified to their intention to do the illustrations of this module. So congratulations to these teachers. So kung kinsa magaling mo, Ginoo rin magbalos sa yung tanan. And that is the right thing for us to do yun actually. So, balik ko sa kaganiha. Ha?
Grade 7 to 12.
Ha? Ano sa mga guys? Lagi, So, Bato, we reminded our teachers to ask if they have concerns. they will ask their immediate superior, no? Kung teacher, sa principal, kung principal, district supervisor, ano, sa division, ano siya. Kaya lahi lagi ang atong gigamit nga learning competency, no? Mao po ang gisanction magput sa to ang RD. So nakita po na to ang reason behind ngano he prefer to have this ELC rather than MELC. Okay? So for other concern and updates sa English team, they also thought of developing SLMs that are intended for grade 7 to 12. So, thank you very much for that. So, for ESP, edukasyon sa pagpapakatao, for grade 1, it has 5 competencies with 10 teacher writers and 5 modules are being developed. All of these are still on the development stage. For grade 2, 5 competencies with 10 teachers with 5 modules. All of these are still on the development stage. For grade 3, we have 6 competencies, 10 teachers, and 6 modules. Still on the development stage. For grade 4, we have 4 competencies with 10 teachers with 6 modules. Again, still on the development stage. And for grade 5, we have 7 competencies with 40 teachers and 9 SLMs to be developed or developed. So all of these 9 are still on the development stage. For Filipino, for grade 1, we have 50 competencies in the second quarter. So we have 10 teachers who are involved in the development of the 10 modules, which are still on the development stage as of this moment. For grade 2, we have 47 competencies with 10 teachers to develop the 10 modules which are still on the development stage. For grade 3, we have 47 which are still on the development stage as of this moment. For APP and TLE, for grade 1, we have 8 competencies and we have 11 teachers to develop 8 modules. One of these modules are now ready for the division level quality assurance and 7 are still on the development stage. For grade 2, we have...
Excuse me, Ma'am Con.
Yes?
We don't have APP TLE in grade 1, 2, and 3.
Ay lah, tatay na, sinasabi yung 3 ani Brad.
We don't have APP for grade 1, 2, and 3. It started from grade 4.
Sorry, dili ni APP. Kuan eh, usa kanang learning area ang red. I-color coding man ako ni. Math man siguro.
APP is violet.
Yes, okay, wala na ko na change. Thank you, Brad Tata. Salamat kayo. Ang kining red is murag math man siguro ang red, no?
I don't know. Science.
Science? Orange and science. Orange. Sa ganitong red, eh? Kita mo itong education program supervisors. I forgot the kuan. Wala na akong ninakuan. For a while ha, kadyot lang kayo. As assistants. Di ba ni edukasyon sa pagpapakatao? For a while, kadali na kayo. But to be sure lang yun. Sorry kayo for the mistake. Ingani na niya basta kanang kuan na. ESP, salamat kayo. Thank you. For a while. Makita na siya balik kung ako siya i-full screen. Makita na, Brad Tata?
Yes.
Okay, ako sa i-edit. Sorry kayo. Edukasyon sa pagpapakatao ni. Pagpapakatao. Okay. Save na ito. Nidaan kay Malimtan. Okay, thank you very much, Brad Ta. Salamat kayo.
Yes.
This is the reason also ganun colorful kayo ang presentation. Actually, each color represents a learning area. No, mga itong kung ano timan-an, ha? School heads, itong learning area. Yes.
Space brown. Space brown, ma'am.
ESP is brown?
Space red. Aralin balik po lang dito according to the code, ma'am.
Dili, edukasyon sa pagpapakatao.
Yeah, ESP is brown, Con.
ESP is brown.
Brown ang ESP.
Aralin balik ng red, ma'am.
Ano yung bago si Ivy Madronero? Aralin palipunan pa siguro ng red, no?
Palipunan, ma'am.
Aralin palipunan? Okay.
AP. Background color code of the module. Red, AP. Oh.
Dili pod
Sir,
mao ang content. Ma'am
Sir
Con.
Angelito Barazona, please confirm kay di na ko makita ko ang guide. So, aralin panipunan.
Nakalagay kulog ma'am sa ID module. Background kulog ID module. Grade level.
Sige. Okay na. Aralin panipunan ang red. Okay, salamat. Okay, sige. Salamat kayo. Aralin panipunan ang red. Sige, grade 1. We have 8 competencies with 11 teachers to develop the 8 modules. One of these modules is now ready for the division level quality assurance, and 7 are still in the development stage. For grade 2, we had 8 competencies with 8 teachers, right? Teacher developers who developed 8 modules, and all of these are still on the development stage. For grade 3, we have 14 competencies. 30 teachers were tapped to do the development of the 8 modules. One of these modules is now ready for the division level quality assurance, and 7 are still on the development stage. For grade 4, we have 10 competencies, and we have 10 teacher developers to develop the 8 modules. One of these is now ready for the quality assurance in the division level, and 7 are still on the development stage. For grade 5, it has 10 competencies, and we have 11 teacher developers who developed 9 SLMs. One of these 9 SLMs is now ready for the quality assurance in the division level, and 8 are still on the development stage. Problems encountered: we have lack of textbooks, so actions taken sourced out from educational portals. And then we have poor or no internet connections, spent all resources and made use of school internet connections for those schools that has internet connectivity. Writers lack training in making modules, so we conducted online trainings on module development. Some teachers who signified intention to become module writers, evaluators, were also assigned in the other learning areas. So we asked assistance from PDSDS district and lead principals. For EPPTLE, so grade 4. So sakto no to what the we don't have 1 2 3 grades 1 2 3 EPP at TLE wala siya grades 1 2 3. So ang EPPTLE mag-start siya sa grade 4, so we have 40 competencies in grade 4 with 10 teacher developers. 10 modules are being developed. Okay, and all of these are still on the development stage. Grade 5, 30 competencies, 16 were tapped to develop 5 modules. And then, caregiver, ang kining number of, still on the development stage, 30, 25 kay lessons, competencies, agi, kwani, bratata niya ni. But the number of modules, depende siya sa number of weeks. So, we have also the exploratory and specialization in the APPTLE. So we have, for the caregiver, we have 22 competencies with 2 teacher writers only. So, wala pa na-identify the certain ang total number of SLMs developed for the reason that galisod siya o kuan sa mga module sa kini sa exploratory o sa specialization kay not all schools nag-over of same kuan exploratory o specialization. But pwede ka makakuha na di, but in
Okay, good morning everyone, Ma'am Ann, good morning. Good morning, Ma'am Arlene, Ma'am Ablen, the rest of the division personnel, and all the participants in this Mancom Management Committee meeting. I just would like to stress out on the impact of this module making to up to this moment, because in the exploratory subjects, there are 28 exploratory subjects in TLE that is that can be taught in grade 7 and in grade 8. And then not all schools are having the same exploratory subjects or offerings. So the same with the TBL specialization also, that not all schools, secondary schools, are offering with the same TBL specialization. So that is why as in this presentation, for caregiving, there is only one writer being top for this exploratory, because the only school offered caregiving is only Lala National High School. And there is only one teacher teaching caregiving in the exploratory, because the other teacher is teaching also caregiving in the specialization in grade 11 and in grade 12. And all of these competencies were started already in the making, but the status of the making is still ongoing as in progress. Now, same with other exploratory subjects like aquaculture, EIM, food processing, automotive servicing, the rest of the exploratory subjects, there is, or shall we say, muragod siya o gamay, ragid kaayo siya ang writer, because I could not make a unified writers for this, because they have different specializations, and at the same time, they have different references being used, as it was prevailed many times that our teachers always asking me of the references of these exploratory subjects and also for the specializations, but we could not find completely any references for this. So that is why they have just adapted and opted to use some strategies to handle this one, especially using the training regulation in TISDA, which is also the competency-based learning materials from TISDA and other references. So that is why the number of teachers that I have placed in this report, it is just very limited, the number of writers. But well, in fact, that caregiving, for example, that is 22 competencies to be completed by one teacher, ongoing na ni siya nga gasulat ani. So I hope that other secondary schools, I know that you are listening by this time, that you have seen the scenario of making this module, this preparation of the self-learning materials. There is really a hard time for us, for the teachers in TVL, to really accomplish this one within this month. But I have just instructed him to please make all of the efforts and all of the resources that they gathered, or that they can gather in this making of the module. So these are all the exploratory subjects as I have recorded, the writers of these exploratory subjects as I have recorded. But definitely this morning, there are another writers who confirmed me that they are going to write a module for their own subjects, because I have instructed them also, including the principals of the secondary schools, that if possible, or that is a mission for us in spite of this pandemic, that if possible, the teacher will make their own module. They have to make their own module in that particular school to that particular subject that they are going to teach this coming August 24. It's either online or any blended modalities, because they are the one handling that subject. So what materials or modules they can distribute to their learners in that particular school, in that particular place, if they don't have make modules for their learners. So that is why I advise them to make really their modules while staying at home. Anyway, we don't have classes by this time, so we still have enough time until August 24 to really accomplish all these modules in their particular subjects that they are going to teach in this school year, so that learners will be provided with these self-learning materials in any means that these learning materials could be really available by the learners in the coming August. That's all, sis.
Okay, thank you very much. No, so, but okay, one thing is sure, Bratata is doing his best to really encourage our teacher concerns to do the writing of this module, no, for us to have something to provide to our learners in the opening of classes this coming August 24, hopefully. So sige, so di na ako sa taas ka ay sa tanan. So allow me to proceed to MAPE. So MAPE, the color code of MAPE is yellow, so that's why I am using yellow. So for grade 1, sige, for grade 1, music has 6 competencies with 2 teacher developers, and they develop 6 modules. All of these modules are now on the revision stage. And then for arts, we have 5 competencies with 2 modules, and they developed 5 modules. With 2 teachers rather, with 5 developed modules, and all of these are now on the revision stage. For PE, we have 5 competencies with 2 teachers who develop 5 modules, and all of these modules are now on the revision stage. 3 competencies for health with 2 teachers with 3 developed SLMs. All of these are now in the revision stage. They have, for grade 1, they have common problems, no? And that is lack of resources or references, difficulty in translating certain words into vernacular language. So action taken is internet resourcing. For grade 2, for music, we have 8 competencies, and we have 3 teacher developers to develop 8 modules. Arts, 6 competencies with 3 teachers who develop 6 modules. PE, we have 5 competencies with 3 teacher developers who develop 5 modules. For health, we have 5 competencies with 3 teachers, and they develop 5 modules. All of these modules from music, arts, PE, and health are now in the revision stage. For grade 3, we have 5 competencies for music with 2 teachers who develop 8 modules. And then we have arts, 8 competencies with 2 teachers who develop 8 modules. PE, 4 competencies with 2 teachers, and they develop 8 modules. For health, we have 10 competencies with 2 teachers, and they develop 10 modules. I believe all of these modules are still on the development stage. So wala na mo talaga ni Sir Ruben. So grade 4, music, 6 competencies with 2 teachers. With these 2 teachers develop 6 modules. And then 7 competencies with 2 teachers, and they develop 5 modules. 3 competencies with 2 teacher developers who develop 3 modules. 7 competencies and 3 teacher developers who develop 7 modules. All of these modules are now in the revision stage. For grade 5, MAPE, music has 4 competencies with 2 teacher developers and develop 4 modules. Then for arts, it has 9 competencies with 2 teachers who develop 9 SLMs, 5 competencies for PE with 2 teacher developers, 5 modules are being developed. For health, 9 competencies with 2 teachers, and then 9 SLMs are being developed. All of these modules are now in the revision stage. So that ends my... Okay. We would like to inform everyone also that we have developed animated stories. Datay animated stories kada develop. Atong winning entries last 2017 or 18 in the national level story writing competition. So we have Dorjana o itong tatlong unggoy. So these stories are now being animated by our learners, senior high school learners of Lala National School with a coach, with a teacher, Mr. Adonis D. Ocampos. And these stories were being dubbed by G. Fodi Oros, 7 Guivas, and editor sound Jelly Barbajo, and technical Carmen Sodos Santiago. Okay, so I think that ends, that concludes my presentation, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, Con, for giving us detailed report on the availability of learning modules, the accomplishment of the task lies on all of us that requires teamwork. So we'd like to thank all of the principals thank all of the principals of the identified writers for supporting all the way our writers. Please support them. They're working from home, but they are doing their self-learning modules for our learners with the hope that by June 30, all learning modules aside from grade 6, because for grade 6, our timeline is June 15. But for our timeline on the accomplishment and availability of all learning modules from kinder up to grade 12 is June 30. Why we need to finish all of this by June 30? Because after that, we are going to convert all of these self-learning modules according to the types of modalities that our learners and teachers need based on the enrollment result as found in the survey material. So, by June 30, we hope and pray that all of these will be in place, all learning modules will be available because it will take time to print the self-learning modules that will require budget, that will require number, how many really are for self-learning module, how that will be, the self-learning module will still be converted into ebook, that will be converted into radio lesson, into TV lesson, so the self-learning module will be converted into material suited to the types of modalities that our learners and parents want. And that calls for urgency. So, may we encourage all principals, public schools district supervisors, and education program supervisors. All of us are essential parts. All of us are essential elements in the accomplishment of this task. So initially, we already have the successes, but I found out that there is a subject that is wanting in terms of writers, the TLE. May we encourage all secondary school principals, with the leadership of Dr. Clarito. Of course, Mr. Bios, please work in tandem with Dr. Clarito being the president of the DAPSHI. Please group your teachers according to specializations. In case there are 3 schools that offer one specialization, so we will have 3 schools that will help each other write the self-learning module for all learners. But just in case there is only one school offering that certain specialization, so by all means, let's encourage our teachers, support them all the way so that all self-learning modules in all subject areas, in all year levels, will be available by June 30. And this will give trust and confidence to the public that DepEd is ready for the August 24 classes. Thank you, Con. I know probably you're not able to sleep gathering all of this information given short notice, but you're able to produce this. Thank you also to Chief Carbonera for managing the CID personnel. CID personnel, thank you. Principals, thank you. School heads, SICs, OICs.
I'd
Yes,
like
go
to
on.
thank also the education program supervisors, ma'am, because they were the ones who provided us the data. Katong i-present
Yes, so
salamat kaayo. Thank you.
okay. Whatever is our role, all of us are important in this endeavor. Thank you very much. Let's keep going. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.
Next, Christine, who's next? Chief Carbonera na. May we now have Chief Carbonera, OIC Chief Arlene, to share us. Please reserve your questions. Your questions will be answered later. Just write them on our chat box.
Thank you. Thank you, Ma'am Ann. Thank you, Ma'am Ann. Okay, at this point in time will be the alternative learning system presentation. Okay, good morning everybody. My respect to our schools division superintendent and Sir Eddie Oplinaria and our assistant schools division superintendent, Ma'am Ann Aliera. And to our CID chief, Ma'am Arlene, good morning. And to everybody. So it's our report for the alternative learning system for the division of Lanao del Norte. Alright. So for the division activities, we have an inventory of learning competencies with LRs, in-depth ed commons, and LR portal. Contextualized learning activity for the ALS on selected teachers. We also had the profiling of teachers and learners for their available means of communication for further intervention. And we have the enrollment of learners. Okay. Nakita ang slide? Wala nakita ang slide? Wait ha. No, sir. Ah. Ayun. Wait, naka-share. Balik na po, sir, ha? Ako pa dulong. Share na, sir. Nakita na, sir. Okay. While waiting, I would like to acknowledge the 411 participants. Kana, sir, nakikita na, sir. Kana. Wala. Wala, sir, floor. Saan na, sir? Kanang ALS, kanang PowerPoint, kana. Kana, sir. Your network is causing poor call quality.
Chris? Hello, Chris? Chris? Chris?
Yeah.
Hello, Chris? Hello, Chris? Kristen? Mrs. Hotba? While waiting, while she's fixing her technology, can we move to OIC Chief Carbonera? While you're fixing your technology, can we proceed to OIC Chief Carbonera?
Naka-mute ka, ma'am. Yes, mic.
Oh,
Okay na.
okay naman. Sige daw.
Third floor? Third floor. Wala makita dito, ma'am. Okay.
Adit.
Okay. Ma'am Ivy, okay. Okay. Nadungog na mo. Yes, ma'am. Nakita ko, dili. Nakita ang presentation, ma'am. Nakita na ang presentation.
Ina.
Okay. Okay, once again, our CID Chief, OIC, Ma'am Mary Arlene Carbonera.
May kolegan ng dapat.
Makita ang naong?
Hindi ko makita.
Yes, ma'am. Makita na yung naong, ma'am, sa ubos.
Sige ko.
Sure, yatin.
Ma'am, nasa ubos, ma'am.
Nag-install pamitin, kadit lang. Okay. Sige, change me kuan laptop.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay na, okay. Okay. To our Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Edelberto L. Oplinaria, and to our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Mary Ann M. Aliera, SDOT Chief, we have here Dr. Maria Carmila Ablin, and all SDOD personnel, CID personnel in attendance, all section heads, school heads. Good morning and welcome to our third division Mancom, virtual Mancom. Okay, so I have here, I'm going to discuss here 6 items to be discussed. Actually, some of these are just reminders. Okay, so first is, but then first we will have here, I will present to you the enrollment, no? As of June 9. Today is June 10, but then as of June 9, we have here total of 24,600 in elementary and 5,693 for junior high school, while 1,549 senior high school. That non-graded are those learners who are enrolled in the SPED. So 85 only. So therefore, it means we need to find ways that we could enroll more of from our SPED learners. Now, as of June 10, we have here also, if we could see, more enrollment are coming from grades, lower grades. No, we have here top notcher, grades 1, 2, and 3. No, like for example, grade 3 has 4,528. So, and the lowest is grade 11, which has 870. But then, this is still good as of, since we are still on the 5th day, I think, of the enrollment. So, this means, my reminder for all of us is that we need to find ways that we could enroll more, but then we should also observe the the health protocols, no? Okay, especially the social distancing. And may we remind, please refrain from going house to house, because especially it is stated in our executive order that that is not yet still allowed. So I hope that also that you will be comparing our last year's enrollment and find ways nga ma-cope ninyo ang enrollment last year. So anyway, the deadline for this is June 30, because we need, and then we encourage also the supervisors and the school and you school heads to please update from time to time, because our SDS and our ESDS would like to know the increase every day. Okay, they would like to know the daily enrollment, because this is also our basis for the planning of what kind of modalities your school will be applying. Okay. Okay, the next slide, wala mo irog, will be presenting to you the preferred modalities. Okay, we have here the preferred modalities based on our graph here, graphical presentation. Modular learning, no, is the most chosen modality, followed by the combination of face-to-face with other modalities. So this is as of June 10. So meaning to say they prefer to have this modular learning. That's why our EPSs now and some writers are very busy in this checking of these different modalities. So if you could see, we have here in the online learning 654, television 855, choose to have 855. But the topmost is modular learning, which has 2,979, then followed by combination of face-to-face with other modalities, 2,870. So followed by television, next is online learning, then radio-based instruction, then the last is home-based modular learning with audio material. Okay? We would like you to please update, because we found out here that some of the districts did not update of their data, no? So we need you to facilitate, school heads, no? Facilitate every 5 o'clock in the afternoon, no? Because not only us will be looking to this, also the region and also the central office. So we could see here, Bacolod has this data. Di na ako basahon tanan, no? Just try to look at it, and there are spaces nga wala pa na feed up, like Baloi for Baroy South. Okay, you need to update. So most of the modalities nga has been chosen by some of the learners are this modular learning, no? Kung makita ninyo, i-compare ninyo, modular learning, they choose this modular learning followed by combination of face-to-face with other modalities. Now, Munay, please update, because there is no data reflected in here. Also, Magsaysay and Kuna Piaga po. Okay? So, Pantaw Ragat also, and Salvador. We have here also Nunungan, Gamay pa, and then Sapad, Tangkal also, and Matunggaw. Okay, please find time and then try to check the way of the manner or the style of enrolling our learners. No, try to check how did our teachers did that so that we could come up or more enrollment. Okay. Okay, so this time we will be discussing to you the development of grade 6 learning modules in all learning areas.
Ma'am Arlene? Ma'am Arlene?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Can you go back to the slide? Previous. Now, I tried to initially add the number of learners with preferred modalities. These do not coincide with the total number of enrollees. So, I have now an idea in mind that for every learner who enrolls using the template, meaning to say all of their preferred modalities and all the other details found in the enrollment are not actually specifically accounted for. So shall we request all of the school heads with the public schools district supervisors and coordinating principals to ensure that for every enrollee that is reported, again, for every enrollee that is reported, let us ensure that all other details that are found in the enrollment form are accounted for, are recorded. So, Floor, may we request our ITO, like for example, I'm now having a copy of the enrollment form. An enrollment, it's quite complicated. I understand the parents might have difficulty on this, as well as teachers might have problem in coding on this because of the details that are required. This is not just merely an enrollment form. It's so easy to say to text for enrollment, then done. We're not yet done. If they text that they are going to enroll, that's at the end. Because whatever strategy of enrollment we are going to do, whether through text message, whether through online, or whether through Dropbox, the baseline information is found in the form. So, example, for this learner enrollment and survey form, if we count one in the report that there is one learner who enrolled, let us ensure that we have the data in all of the forms that we distributed. Let us cross-check. So that's why we have the assigned enrollment facilitator.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
That's why we have an assigned enrollment facilitator per grade level.
Grade level.
Per grade level, there is an enrollment facilitator. There is a teacher that is in charge to take into account the answers that are reflected in the enrollment form. Why we have to do this? It's quite detailed. This requires time and effort on the part of the school heads, teachers, and parents and enrollees. But what is very important here is for us to be able to come up with the preferred modalities. The preferred modalities of both parents and learners, because parents are going to help the learners. At the same time, with this baseline information, all of us will be able to think how many modules are we going to print, how many competencies are we going to air on radio, on TV, and what about the online learning? This is quite complicated, but the complications will be solved given the accurate baseline information, those that are accounted for, which data are found in the enrollment form. So I appreciate Ma'am Arlene for counting the number of preferred modalities per per municipality. But I'd like to encourage everyone to ascertain that whatever is our answer in the preferred modalities, that will also match with the number of enrollees that we have. So if our school, say for example, if our school has reported 100 enrollees, that would mean 100 enrollment and survey forms are answered. That would mean 100 of them opted to the different kinds of learning modalities. Medyo gagmay ang kuan, gagmay ang nasa form. It's hard to decipher if for those other parents and teachers kung wala tayong mga eyeglasses. So we encourage all principals to by all means help our teachers and parents in the enrollment and ensure that all data being asked for in the form shall also be answered, and if all of these are answered, all of this also will be reflected in our system. Floor, ma-account ba nato tanan si Pantauragat? If Pantauragat will report 100, we are expecting different modalities for the 100. So 10 might be for face-to-face, 50 might be for radio, 40 might be for module, and the remaining 10 might be for online. So that is what we are going to account. If we report for 100, asa ang modality sa 100. Okay. Ako ang kuan ani apprehension is just like this data nato karon, because siguro the teachers are not yet able to encode. Ma'am Arlene, no, pa siguro sila naka-encode tanan. Panila ni na-encode ang information. So for the principals, we use all means of communicating to our teachers. Say for example, our teachers are in the work from home and the survey and enrollment form is submitted in the school. So what shall we do? The best thing that we can do is to take picture of this enrollment form, send this to our teachers so they could encode. And every day, tama si Ma'am Arlene, yun siya. Kung napay 100 ka-enrollees every day, so all of the 100 enrollees data shall be encoded in our system ready for reporting. So, we are not only after of the number of enrollees, but we are after of the data that are being asked for, the answer of the questions that are being asked for in our enrollment and survey form. This is very crucial, this is very critical, because this is the baseline of all the things that we will be doing after June 30. So I hope we will all fast track in doing this. Kay kung say for example, 100 survey forms will not be encoded every day, and pretty sure it will take time for a teacher to do this. That's why we shall assign teachers per grade level, and if there are so many sections in the grade level, our school heads are encouraged to let other teachers, to assign other teachers to help in the encoding of the enrollment and survey form data. So that's all. Sige, Ma'am Arlene, thank you.
Okay, Ma'am. Okay, that's why actually they need to update us, because so that we will also know, Ma'am, regarding on how many modules or learning modules we are going to prepare. So this time, okay, this time we would just like to explain to them that we have here a memorandum regarding development of grade 6 self-learning modules in all learning areas. This is a memorandum, division memorandum released last May 18, 2020. So if you notice, school heads were, dear school heads, our EPSs were busy now together with the writers in collecting these modules, no? Because we were assigned in the region to prepare the modules in grade 6. So therefore, basin kay ako lang i-explain why, because there are some questions why, because they have read also DepEd memorandum that the DepEd also were preparing modules. So ingon sila, ako lang ning iklaro, ingon sila nga nganong magbuhat pamanta nga nag-prepare man ang central office. So the central office really has prepared, and in fact, Region 10 was assigned to prepare the senior high school modules, self-learning modules. So Region 10, akong klaroon that Region 10 was assigned to prepare that senior high school SLM. Okay. Now, because of the initiative also of our regional director, mao nang naapod tay, that's why we here in the division office also was assigned to prepare that grade 6 learning modules, grade 6. And we here in Lanao del Norte, grade 6 ang atong assignment. Okay? So therefore, if you notice that our EPSS were so busy, they have also their chosen writers, no? So it doesn't mean nga kamo ang other teachers were not chosen, they are not good really, but then mula lang sila na ilhi. So do not try mga writers and illustrators chosen by our EPSS to do this task of preparing modules of this grade 6. And then ako lang isumpay that we have also here a release memorandum by our schools division superintendent that those who were not assigned, this is division memorandum and number dated June 3, 2020, that those teachers who were not assigned were given this, the subject is teacher's task in preparation for the opening of school year 2020. Now, since we have many teachers, I think we have 4,000 teachers in Lanao del Norte, so therefore there are still teachers who were not included and were not chosen by our school, our EPSS. So therefore, through the initiative of also of our schools division superintendent, nagbuhat po ta og division self-learning modules. So our EPSS again top, aside from those who were assigned to write the grade 6 regional self-learning modules, our EPSS also top some of the teachers they know qualified to make or prepare another self-learning modules. That's why nag-assign sila from kinder to grade 12 writers. Okay? So since kadto siya, so makaingon mo, basin maingon mo nga, daghan na kaayo. So much better kung daghan because daghan ta mapilian. So the central office are preparing, the regional office are preparing, we too are preparing the division level. With that, we should be thankful because at least daghan tag mapilian, and in fact, it has been our experience already before na when we were assigned to prepare that DLL or DLP, it so happened nga ulahing naabot ang katong 4th rating, I think. That was 4th rating. 4th rating, and so dili maayo nga maghulata. So at least in our end, we are ready. So dili kayo ta maghulat if ever ang central office delayed ang ilang pagpadala, the regional office delayed also. So at least in our end, we are so thankful of the initiative of our schools division superintendent together with our assistant schools division superintendent and also of our APSS for this initiative, for this effort. So by that time, August 24, so medyo ready na ta. And since then, there are still teachers who were not tapped to prepare that self-learning modules. So therefore, the reason why we have also this division memorandum released for all teachers, for all teachers who are not assigned. Dili na to libugon atong self, ha? Those teachers who were not assigned will be the one to do this. Okay, may I read to you the first paragraph, no? This is for The title of this is Teacher's Task in Preparation for the Opening of School Year 2020-2021. Okay, to Chief Education Supervisor, OIC Chief, CID, Education Program Supervisors, Public Schools, District Supervisors, Coordinating Principals, Public Elementary Secondary School Heads, Elementary Secondary Teachers, and all other concerns. Okay, may I read to you number 1, first paragraph. In compliance with the Memorandum C1 2020 dated May 16, 2020, all teachers who are not involved in the development of modules spearheaded by the education program supervisors shall be tasked to prepare weekly learning activity sheets. So dili module ang inyo ha, kundi asa ato mga teachers nga wala matap, kundi mga weekly learning activity sheets or supplementary reading resources or supplementary learning materials and other related materials. But then, however, dili basta-basta silang magbuhat. All of this development of these materials shall be based, of course, sa atong most essential learning competences provided by the region. So, the said MELs were already forwarded to all public school district supervisors and coordinating principals. Now, I hope that all of our teachers had the copy already, had the copy already of this MELs or these most essential learning competences. So, mauni ilang buhatan, no? Because starting June 1, sugod naman yun ang ato ang supposed to be teachers or no their services are required although they are not required to be physically present in their station. Okay, so these are the things that they need to do. So para dili malibog kay moingon na nganong magbuhat pa man nga naa na may gipang buhat. Okay, so this is also will help, especially when when classes will start by August. So at least do na tayo another mga materials, supplementary materials na pwedeng atong ipadala aside from the different learning modules prepared by some of our writers. Okay, may I just take this opportunity to thank everyone for accepting that challenge, especially our EPSS. I know they're very busy. Some of them, frankly speaking, they are already sick, no? So I just let them i-allow ko na lang without permission also of our schools division superintendent and assistant schools division superintendent nga dito na lang sila sa balay mag-check sa different learning modules because they are not feeling well, especially to tell you frankly ang among office diri igang sa ngatanan, no? So inana, so therefore they are really very busy. So I'd like to thank the APSS for the effort and also for our district supervisor for assisting also in checking, especially this other task. You and the lead principals also would like you to thank for that because you are going to check also, no? Dapat i-check ninyo muna ang mga self-learning modules before submitting it to the APSS. No, moagi gid na sa atuang mga school principals. And then would like you to initial that, meaning it has been checked already, before forwarding that to our district supervisors. At the same time, the district supervisor should check that one first, the division-initiated self-learning modules, before you forward that to our APSS. Okay? Klaro kayo, no? So that by then, we are very much ready in the opening of classes. Okay? And then, sa mga writers na wala mo balibad, thank you also and congratulations in advance. Actually, I asked already your names and because we would like to recognize you for that. So, we have already a list of writers here, but then there are still, I'm still encouraging PSDSS also to try to check who are these teachers, the teachers in your district nga wala pa mahatag ang mga names, especially if, please atong isegregate writers sa grade 6 for that regional level self-learning modules, and writers sa ato ang division initiated self-learning modules. And then we would like you also to please have a record also for this another task for the teachers who were not assigned, who are not assigned. Okay? So medyo klaro na to siya, no? So let's proceed to the next. Aron walay magbagulbul nga, mingon nga magbuhat-buhat pa man gid ta nga naa na may gibuhat sa central office. Okay, this is for our own good, for us, Division of Lanao del Norte, ready for that incoming classes. Okay, so I'm done with that. Next is, this is also about kindergarten. Okay, so we have here Division Memorandum 233. It's about dissemination of Division Memorandum C1 2020-0080 reiterating the age qualification of kindergarten learners as provided for the DepEd Order Number 20, Series 2018, and guidelines on the administration of the Philippine Early Childhood Development or ECD assessment checklist for school year. So dili ko na lang ni basahon tanan. I would like you to take note of this DepEd Order Division Memorandum, no? Please take note of the Division Memorandum. Diretso na lang ko aning ni for school commencing their school, the changes, no, the revision. For schools commencing their school year beyond June, the requirement that kindergarten learners should be 5 years old by June 1, and the extension period ending on August 31 shall be adjusted. For schools, for school commencing their school year in July, kindergarten learners should be 5 years old by July 1, and the extension period shall be until September 30. For schools commencing their school year in August, kindergarten learners should be 5 years old by August 1, and the extension period shall be until October 31. Okay? So, take note, basahan na lang ninyo ang atong DepEd Division Memorandum. Okay, so, still, no, naagyapon tayo administration of the ECD assessment checklist. Makita ninyo attached to this Division Memorandum. Ako lang yun basahon to emphasize it, to give more emphasis on this. The ECD assessment checklist shall be administered by the kindergarten teacher not earlier than 2 weeks. Take note of that, basin malimtan na po nato. Not earlier than 2 weeks after the opening of the school year in August 24 or at appropriate time when the child has already established rapport. Okay, mingon na po mo, ala, saan man nato pag-administer if the face-to-face will not be allowed. Okay, so the school may adopt the following suggested delivery options depending on the local COVID-19 risk, severity classification of the area, but not limited to A, in the areas where physical classes are not allowed. Trained parents, guardian, or adults assigned by their learners' parents shall conduct the assessment at home. The teacher or trained community worker or volunteer may conduct the at-home assessment based on agreed schedule with parents. Okay, so I would like you to continue on reading this. Take note, where face-to-face administration of the ECD is adopted, health and social or physical distancing protocols of the Department of Health and IATF shall be strictly observed. Okay? So, mangita gid tag paagi on how to be able to conduct all these things without violating the executive orders. Okay? So, klaro na, and I would like again you to provide yourself with a division memorandum of regarding this qualification of the kindergarten learners. Okay, next. We have here the summer classes. Ako lang reminder, still as addition reminder, no? Reminder gihapon. As we agreed, you have to submit the proposal. I hope that proposals are here already, but then I could not find some of the proposals coming from the different schools. The fact that we have 601 learners who underwent or undergo, wala pa siguro na human, sa ilahang summer classes, because it stated her that the Department of Education, based on DepEd Memorandum number 051, series of 2020, okay? So the Department of Education issued the DepEd Memorandum number 42, series 2020, titled Guidelines for the Remainder of School Year 2019-2020 in light of COVID-19 measures, which enforced directive designated the week of March 16 to 20 as examination week in all DepEd schools for any remaining fourth quarter examinations. In areas where classes have been suspended by the relevant national or local authorities for the week of March 16. Okay. Okay. So we have here in paragraph 2, guidelines on the computation of final grades. Makita nato na sa DepEd order number 8. Okay, you know already about that. Now in DepEd order number 13, which titled Implementing Guidance on the Conduct of Remedial and Advancement Classes During Summer for K-12 Basic Education. These three are our references. These three are our references so that you will be guided on this conduct of remedial advancement and enrichment classes during summer. Ako lang yung gibasa because I would like you to please, it is found here in DepEd order for one. In DepEd order number 013 series of 2018, I would like you, I hope attach ninyo in your proposal the learner's endorsement for summer class, which will be signed by our class advisor and the school principal. It is found in DepEd order number 13, no? So let's follow this, and we have also the parents' consent form. So just a reminder that you should comply all these things, or else dili nato makarga ang mga grado sa atong mga bata na for at the end of the summer. And in DepEd order number 8, this is still a reminder for all of us. It is here included in figure 1, the certificate of recomputed final grade. So you are expected to submit this one, sample certificate of recomputed final grade, wherein this will be prepared by the remedial class teacher, and the school principal will also affix her signature and will be received here in the division office. Okay, it will be there. And then there is also a form here wherein the school's division superintendent will also sign, meaning to say kanang mataa na inyong nabuhat na ni ang recomputed grade. Okay, in this form. Asa na tong form? Okay, division office. So therefore, this is just a reminder. So these are the three bases that you will consider. We have DepEd Memorandum 051 Series 20, DepEd Order 013 of Series 2018, and DepEd Order number 8 Series 2015. Okay, this is only for those school heads nga nag-conduct og summer classes. Okay? Okay, I think that's all for now. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Marlene, salamat.
Yes,
Thank you, everyone. The time is, thank you for your effort, Ma'am Arlene. Thank you for reminding. Thank you for the sharing. Now the time is 12:18. We're supposed to end at 12 o'clock, but there's still topic for ALS, and I am not also done yet. So break time. Let's have break time. Happy eating. And let's be back at 1. The time is 12:19. So let's be back at 1:19. Let's have 1 hour break. Be present. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Ann. So we'll be back exactly 1:19. Okay. Have a good lunch break, everybody.
Thank you, Ma'am Ann. Thank you, Chief.
Okay, for the attendance, out of 411 participants, we only have 306 who logged in the menti.com. Okay, as of now, it's 320 out of 411. So, all other participants, YouTube, live streaming, and sa MS Teams, please log in. Find your attendance at the www.menti.com and use the code 332112. Again, ayaw kalimot sa pag-sign sa inyong attendance sa menti.com. Only 320 out of 411 ang nakasign sa attendance. Yes, Ma'am IBT on. Your mic is on. Okay. So, I would like to acknowledge everybody who are in the YouTube live streaming. Hello, everyone. So, magpadayon kita unyang 1:19 sa hapon at angin ninyo ang mga reports unyang hapon. Daghang salamat ug maayong pagpaniudto sa tanan. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.